Heyo, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? This is Anthony coming at you with Late Night with Coffee. We got a guest on today, Donnie Fortino.
Salud.
He got his little to go cup.
A little espresso.
Oh, that's good. Yo, no sleep, no sleep till Brooklyn. You,
Exactly.
when I did my first show doing this, I had the cup of coffee, right, and I was bragging because I said, I grew up on coffee when I would go to Puerto Rico every summer for the whole summer. My grandparents, they gave us coffee before we went to bed.
Yeah.
So it's like my body was conditioned that if I had coffee, it's sleepy time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like I was bragging because I was like, coffee does nothing. I'm not worried about drinking coffee this late because I'm gonna pass out, whatever. My second show, I was up to about 3, 4 in the morning, just in bed, just there. I put my phone down. I did what I could. I'm like, because I always yell at my wife when she says she can't sleep. I'm like, put your phone down and close your eyes. So I took my own advice and I put my phone down, closed my eyes, nothing at all. Uh-oh.
I thought that was you for a second. It's us.
Oh, okay. What is it? Like a noise?
You didn't hear the sirens?
Ah, that ain't me.
Oh, that's crazy.
I
I
don't
thought you
think
guys
it's
would have
me.
heard it. I kept hearing it through the headphones. I'm like, wait, is that us?
You know what? I'm gonna look at something right here. Make sure system. Make sure my sound's not coming out of my. Oh no, everything's coming out of. Okay, everything's where it's supposed to be coming out of and going in too. Yeah, man. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I think you and I both can relate to the fact that it's just been a messed up year for football. So, all things
Well,
considered,
listen, man. All things are good for me. Jets are losing, and
first
they're
round pick.
losing, and they're losing royally. So I have a stake in the game now. It's rare that I have a stake in the game. Now I do. So I don't
Man,
I don't mind. You guys are getting banged up, man.
yeah, we did break another record this year though.
What, most injuries again?
Yeah, most cap being spent on injured players, 80.8 million.
Uh, is that just in football?
Yeah, just literally all the guys we got injured in San Francisco. Sorry, I'm talking to you like we're sitting at home.
No, it's
Yeah,
cool.
the Niners have so many guys on injured reserve right now that they're paying a total of 80.8 million to all these guys.
Mm,
Ridiculous.
that's awful. That is awful. Hey, I mean, it happens. What can you do, man? People get injured. It's a tough game. It's a rough game.
Well, it's I mean, 2020 has just been like Satan's year because I mean, it started for us early because we lost the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then COVID happens, and
Yep.
all the racial tension going on in the world, and then the
Mm-hmm.
election, and it's like, man, I'm just waiting for that
No,
that
no
big spaceship
Olympics.
from Independence Day to come down.
Right, right, right. We didn't get any Olympics this year. It's a tough. It was a tough year for the sports fan. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, Not to take away from frontline workers or anything like that. I know it's tough for you guys too, but for as a sports fan, it was rough, man. It was
Wait,
rough.
let's talk about that real quick. These
What's that?
essential workers and whatnot.
Yep.
I applaud the people in uniform,
Mm-hmm.
doctors, nurses, more so nurses than I do doctors, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but doctors don't ever do shit.
Right, right,
It's always the nurses that do everything.
right.
And they're really on the front lines. But I had some asshole the other day. No, it was a couple weeks ago. He was
Mm-hmm.
bragging about being an essential worker.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, but not only that, like talking shit about everybody else. Like, oh, well, you sit at home, I'm out here being a hero and this and that. I'm like, wow, this dude really called himself a
He's
hero.
taking it to heart. Heroes don't call themselves heroes.
Exactly. You know what I mean? They don't flash their cape. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I know this guy. He's dating a girl that is I grew up with, one of my best friend's sisters, and I consider her like family. So I know a little bit about him, but I didn't know what he did because I haven't seen him in years. So I asked him, I go, what is it that you do? He goes, oh, I drive for Lyft and Uber Eats. I was like, okay, so run it back. How does that make you a hero?
Right.
He's like, I get people to work. I get those essential workers to work, because they can't drive and this and that. And then I bring people food. I'm like, okay, come on. People have cars, bro.
Right.
If it's not you, they're going to take the bus.
Right.
And your Uber Eats, I think that was one of the dumbest things for people to do during the damn pandemic, is making everybody go broke. So,
well, the thing is, some people are working from home, so they're still making money. Like me, I work from home.
Yeah,
so,
me too. But
so it's like it didn't really affect me. I mean, it affects my wife. She's a nurse, so that's on her. That's the career path she chose.
A frontline soldier, then.
Right, exactly. And she works at 2 different places. So she works at the hospital and she works in the corrections.
Yo, word is born. No, I did not know that your wife was a nurse. I wasn't kissing ass. That's awesome. Like I
told him. I told him before. I told him before we started recording. I told him.
Did you?
Nah.
Oh, you're not being serious. Nah, he didn't.
No, she's at work right now, man. Yeah, but she's got it rough, man. Because thank God we've been, knock on wood, we've been dodging bullets, man. She's in the thick of it. She's been working on COVID floors. Ooh. And we've been dodging bullets, man. She comes home and she just strips naked, and she goes right downstairs, puts her clothes in the wash, and hits the showers, and that's it. And then she doesn't come in the house until she's sterilized.
You remember the good old days when saying your wife came home and stripped naked was a good thing. Now it's like a cautionary tale. You know what I mean?
Right. Not after work. I never want her to come home after work and strip naked and do anything crazy. I'm all set. You've been running around all night. I'm good.
Love it.
So is that the Brooklyn Bridge behind you?
Oh yeah. I had to get a little piece of New York here in California.
Yeah, man.
I could say I'm from both, but I mean, my heart and my soul, my attitude is all Brooklyn. So I did grow up in California.
My brother has My brother has a Brooklyn Bridge picture right above his bed, and it's probably about this big. I'm like, why do you even have that? Like, his headboard is huge, and then he has a little tight picture. I'm like, you gotta change something about that, man. Because you can go to Home Goods and stuff and find a dope picture of Brooklyn Bridge, or even like the Manhattan skyline or something.
Yeah, I think I bought that one at Ross or TJ Maxx or something.
Yeah.
For like $12.
Their Home Goods section. Yeah. They have good, nice stuff too, man. They'll have like Yankee Stadium or something like that. A picture of Yankee Stadium or Shea Stadium or Citi Field, whichever one it is. Oh, yeah, man.
I think if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd probably still shop at those places.
Oh yeah.
Just out of habit. Everybody says, well, yeah, but until you win the lottery, you won't know. But when I was 18, I got my first real fat chunk of money, and I'm talking it was a lot of money. We won't talk about what I did to get it, but I literally, me and my brothers were rolling around like, we're gonna go get a fancy dinner tonight. We had no idea how to even go about that. And after like 2.5 hours of rolling around, we're like, all right, we're in the Denny's parking lot. Right. We know Denny's. We like Denny's. Right. I'm about to get 30. That term money comes from.
I'm about to get 30 moons over my hammies.
You know?
I could, I could go for moons over my hammy right now.
You guys got a lot. You say what?
I can go for a moons over my hammy right now.
Oh man. But you guys, I mean, back east, there's a lot better diners than probably anywhere in the world, or not in the world, but in the United States. Yeah. I mean, we don't really have diners like out here. It's like Denny's, and that's
It's
it.
all food trucks out there.
Yeah, yeah, so to speak. I'm in Northern California. Food
Okay.
trucks are here, but they're more of an LA thing.
Got it.
And I grew up in San Francisco, which is probably the closest thing you can get to the East Coast on the West Coast. I think Dave Chappelle said that.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost you for a second there. My bad.
Are you good? You're coming in clear, man. Is it me?
No. I was just checking to see if maybe I unplugged the hard line, see what would happen. Because it's going back and forth. It shows you red and me green, and then it swaps.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. So you're a sticker guy for your hats, huh? You keep the sticker up there?
Yeah, I think it's more of a now, because this was like the style in late 90s, early 2000s,
Right.
when I was in high school. And
Mhm.
I think now it's just a statement telling all these young kids, I'm not like you. But I think the size of my pants, the fact that my pants aren't cutting off circulation and look like they're painted on, I think that is kind of the dead giveaway.
Yeah, I don't go. Sometimes I go sticker. Sometimes I couldn't keep the sticker on this because then it's white, so it'll start to get dingy. And then if the sticker ever came off, it would just be a big clean circle.
Yeah.
So it would just look gross. I'd rather the whole thing look dingy because then it won't look dingy.
Yeah.
If it's all dingy.
I'm kind of a stickler, man. Like I throw hats out pretty quickly. Like this one's about to go. Like, I don't know how this happened. There's like a little bit of dirt there. This one's gonna go.
It's not usually sweat. Is that sweat?
Nah, because so I sneak. I used to wear them like with my hat up like this, and you'd see a do-rag right here.
Yeah.
But this in particular came from, somebody wanted me to go on a ghost hunt with them because I actually worked with a paranormal team before, and I'm not really a ghost guy. Like when I worked with that team, I got kicked off because I was always disproving their ghost theories. I would be like, hey, no, the sound came from this,
Right.
And they finally got tired of it. And I'm like, yo, do you guys want to look like you're playing Ghostbusters? Or you really want to do some work?
Right.
I'm like, dude, when I see a ghost or I see something that cannot be explained, I'll say it.
Right.
But anyway, digress a little bit. But I went and did this in this old building a couple weeks ago, and it was just dusty. Like, and and again, I'm the guy that goes around and investigates and looks for the noises. So I'm digging through stuff, and yeah.
See, that alone would just get me paranoid, man. Just being in a dusty, old, dark, like there's really no sound. So when you hear any little thing, it's gonna trigger you. Yeah. And you go think of something. Then your brain is trained to recognize patterns and stuff. So you look in different directions. You see in shadows, and it's just. I think your mind just plays tricks on you. I'm not saying, listen, I don't know if there are ghosts or if there aren't ghosts. I don't know. I'm just saying it hasn't been proven to me yet.
So I'm going to throw you for a little loop here because I'm, raised Catholic and Christian and whatnot. And
me too.
You remember, especially, did you ever go to Catholic school?
I didn't go to Catholic school, but I went to a Catholic. I was raised in the Catholic Church, and we had like Sunday school and all that stuff.
Yeah, so I did for a little bit, and they really push the demonic presence scare on you. So naturally, as a teenager, I got rebellious, and I just didn't buy into any of it. I'm like, man, this is, it's all bullshit or whatever. But in 2005 or 6, me and my group went and opened up for Talib Kweli in Santa Cruz, California.
Okay.
And we went, so long story short, it's on the other side of the mountain from where we live, right? So you got to go over a mountain pass to get there, right?
Yep.
So we went and did the show, and it was at this place called the Catalyst, and it's an indoor venue, and this is Santa Cruz. Everybody in Santa Cruz is a weed smoker. So I didn't smoke weed at the time. I still don't, but
Keep going.
yeah. And so we're at the venue doing the opening act or whatever, and by maybe a minute and a half in, the whole place is filled with smoke. So naturally, you're going to get a contact high. So we stayed, watched Kweli perform, left, probably just blitzed out of our gourd, just, eyes halfway shut or almost all the way shut. And I got to drive an hour back home like this. So on the way home, like I said, you got to go over a pass, and it's literally a road that zigzags up a mountain and then zigzags back down a mountain. So it's a windy road. It gets foggy the higher you go. And it's not like on the East Coast. I mean, our mountains out here are freaking mountains. You know what I mean? So it's a long drive up the thing. And about halfway up, the fog gets so thick that maybe 5-6 feet ahead of you could see, but that's about it. But I'm hauling ass because I know this road. I know every single turn. I'm doing like 45 up a mountain, which doesn't seem fast, but when you're zigzagging like this, that's pretty fast. So we get almost to the top, and at the top, there's a straightaway before you start going down. I look down to change. We had CD players, youngsters back then in our car.
Man.
I looked down to change the song because, like I said, I'm contact high from the venue. So I had to look, and it was maybe a split second. I look up, and there's a lady standing in the middle of the road. Before I could even get my foot on the brake,
I'm really not gonna be able to sleep.
Oh no, but here it gets crazier. So I'm thinking I just hallucinated because for people who don't smoke marijuana like myself at the time, it can act as a hallucinogen. That's just not like acid, but it could play tricks on your mind, So I'm like, oh, okay, I just hallucinated. But I look over and I just see two big white eyes. Now, that's nothing scary. My boy Bakari was black as hell and it was dark. And to see two big white eyes, I'm like, yo, he's like,
maybe it was him.
So he goes, did you just see that? I was like, yeah, man, I just hit somebody. We got to pull over. He goes, no, don't pull over. Don't pull over.
For real. Don't pull over.
Like,
what are you talking about?
Bro, because I thought I killed somebody, but I was too high to hear the thump or something, So we're talking about it. I'm like, dude, if I hurt somebody, I got to help them. He's like, that wasn't a somebody, man. We went right through it. I'm tripping now. So we haul ass. We don't stop until we get into town. And I stop at a little Chevron there and I start looking at the car to make sure I didn't hit a person, see no blood or nothing like that. So he explains it to me. He goes, and we start trading back and forth of what we saw. And both of us clearly saw what was like a skinny woman in a nightgown with long, grayish, black, greasy looking hair just standing there. So we kind of were like, you know what, let's dead this. Let's not talk about it because this just sounds stupid. It's maybe somebody put something in, one of their joints and we got a contact high. We were literally trying to explain it away.
Yeah, but you both saw the same thing.
Yeah, that's what scared us. Neither one of us bought into that. And I still question it, and here's why. I'll tell you in a minute. But here's where it gets scarier. We go to a barbecue the next day. Now, the town we live in that we were driving home to that night, we're not from there. So we don't really know local legends and ghost stories and whatnot. But we go to a barbecue.
Oh, no, it's going to get worse.
Oh, man. We're at a barbecue with friends that all went to high school together. And they can tell we're acting kind of weird and funny. And they finally coax us to tell the story. We're like, yo, so my boy's like, I don't want to tell it. You tell it. I'm like, all right. So I get up and I'm like, look, so last night we were on Hecker Pass Highway. And before I even finished the sentence, they're like, you saw the White Witch.
Ooh.
I was like, what? So apparently there's a legend out on that highway that it was, I think, the first woman killed by an automobile. died up there, and they say it's her, but there was also a lady that was her because they had a mansion up there. But they proceed to tell us that that road was not Hecker Pass Road, and then there's Old Hecker Pass Road. And they were like, yeah, so it was fenced off at the bottom, but when we were in high school, we used to go up there and, drink, smoke weed or whatever, because that's what kids do, right? They said they went up one day, parked their car at the bottom, walked to the top, and they're there for like a minute, and they start seeing like a hazy light off in the distance. So like, we thought it was the cops, so we turned off all our flashlights, started hiding behind trees. Then they start hearing like laughing, like from a woman, right?
Oh, stop it.
So they haul ass down the hill, they're running, and my friend, the one that introduced me to all these people, Corey, he was like, yeah, my hat came off. He's like, now I had a flex. And you think when somebody's running, their hat could come off because the wind hits the bill or whatever. But he goes, no, I had a flex fit hat on backwards. And the person behind him who was there that night, they were like, yeah, dude, it looked like it came straight up and off. And I'm still trying to explain that away. Here's the part that trips me out. They all sat there and said, so we get to the bottom of the hill, right? Back to the car. His fucking hat was sitting on top of the car.
Stop.
So
I don't like where this is going.
Here's my thing. I still don't, and that was it. Like that's all I know. And apparently there's like newspaper articles and stuff of people mysteriously dying on that highway, like found dead in their car, but they didn't get in an accident. Really weird. But my whole thing is, and I still do, I honestly think there might have been like some movement in the fog that made it look like the shape of a person, because that's totally possible. And then you got your headlights on, it can make it look like anything. And as far as their story, I mean, I'm sure they think something happened to them, but I can't help but wonder if they embellished a little bit, Yeah,
but how do you explain the hat coming back?
That they all told the same story.
How do you explain the hat coming back?
That's the part I thought they embellished.
Okay.
I don't know, like if they were messing with me. Now, one of the dudes I still
I thought that was your people's that the hat came back. So it's the other people that you were talking to was telling you a story.
Yeah. So the dude that's hat came off, I'm still friends with him to this day. But I know him well enough that he's probably just messing with me. Like, I don't know, he swears up and down it really happened. But
right.
I don't know.
Maybe he's told the story wrong so many times that he believes it.
Right.
Sometimes I think that happens sometimes. Like you remember it wrong. Something that may have happened like years ago. You just remember it wrong.
Yeah.
And then you believe the wrong way you remember it.
Yeah.
That's creepy, man. That's creepy if it did happen like that.
Yeah, the whole situation was, but I still question it just because,
Yeah. Damn. That's crazy.
When there's a drug that I don't do involved, I got to question it.
Right. Yeah, see, I've never smoked before. I guess I don't know, but I will tell a story. I can't say that I never smoked before. I do have a story. I got a couple of stories actually. So me and my wife, we went to Canada, I think like last year or the year before that, something like that. And while we were up there, we stayed in Niagara Falls. And so we're outside like the hotel, and it's pretty busy, it's Niagara Falls, everybody's there. And it's pre-COVID, it's summertime, so everybody's there chilling. So we're looking around, we smell weed. We're like, damn, that's some fucking strong ass weed, right? But it's people like walking past us, just smoking weed. We're like, damn, it must be legal here. We didn't know it was legal there. We had no idea. People were just chilling, smoking weed. I guess they say you just can't smoke around people or around kids or something like that. So we were like, okay, we're gonna go try some weed. It's legal. We can't get in trouble. We're good. Let's go try it. So we went to a dispensary, which was dope inside. It was like an Apple store. It was crazy. You go in, they had like AstroTurf on the inside. to simulate grass, I guess.
Right.
You know, just because with the theme of the store
Yeah.
is grass, whatever. But so we go in and so we go talk to somebody. It was packed in there too. We go and talk to somebody and we're like, listen, we've never done this before. You are truly pointing us in the right direction. We have no idea what we're doing. So we said we don't want anything strong, like crazy strong, but not anything light either. So she gave us some bullshit, and she asked if we wanted it pre-rolled. Like, didn't I just tell you we've never done this before? Pre-roll that shit, right? So they gave it to us pre-rolled. We go back to the hotel. Actually, across the street from the hotel is a casino, and so we go in the casino. We light it up. So I take a little hit, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then she takes it and takes a hit, but she doesn't inhale. And I'm like, babe, you're doing it wrong. She's like, no, I'm doing it right. Look. And she just spits it right out. I'm like, you're not doing it right. You got to inhale. So I showed her. I said, look, this is how you got to do it. I took the biggest drag I could do, and I just inhaled it. When I tell you the fire that went down my throat, man, oh my God. It was like the smoke had veils and it was trying not to go down my throat. It was just like, skee! I couldn't believe it. And, you know, I watch movies all the time. So I see in the movies when they smoke, they're like, they start coughing. And I understood. I'm like, okay, I didn't cough, but I understand why, you know, in the movies, they just cough like crazy after taking a big drag like that. And I remember we went up to the restaurant afterwards, and obviously she didn't feel anything because she didn't do anything. So we go upstairs into the restaurant hotel. We're overlooking the falls and stuff. And the whole time I'm like, damn, I don't feel shit. I don't feel anything. Right. And I'm like, that was really all I did. I just took that big drag and that was it. Because I had never smoked before. I didn't want to overdo it. You know, so I'm like, I don't feel a damn thing. I feel nothing. Nothing at all. And then the next day I thought about it. The next day when I woke up, I was like, you know what? My wife was talking to me that whole time. And in my mind, I just kept thinking, damn, I don't feel nothing. I don't feel anything. I wasn't even listening to her. The voice was so loud in my head. You know, I don't feel anything. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm not high. And I couldn't tell you what she was talking about. It's just a blur. So it must have hit me somehow.
Yeah, you were high.
Yeah, definitely. So funny, man. I thought about it later. I'm like, damn, I was high. I must have been. I don't even remember what she was saying. And I think it was something serious too, but I don't remember.
It's a common, you know, when people talk about their first times or whatever smoking weed, they always tell you they didn't get high that time. So I think it's everything you were going through is completely normal.
Yeah,
I can't do it though, bro. It's, you know, I don't want to say hinders me, but it makes people look at you weird, you know, coming up as a rapper. And I did smoke at one point throughout high school. Like, I loved it. But one day, it just turned on me. I started feeling like I was having a heart attack. And
oh, wow.
They talk, you know, people talk about but it's not, like nobody wants their heart racing 200 miles an hour. You know what I mean? So it's just not comfortable for me. And then being in the hip hop scene, telling people you don't smoke, they look at you like you're crazy. But talk about people who don't inhale. Everybody out there, rappers are the biggest bullshitters in the world. Game is another one. And I think this shit is corny, man. Like, stupid corny. The Game, the rapper. Look up a video. Just type in YouTube, The Game smoking weed. He does not ever inhale. He's a faker. Like, bro, if you don't smoke weed, just don't smoke. Why you got to front for the cameras?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of just
say
knowing
you like
the
the smell
pricing
of it.
on that. It's annoying.
Yeah. That is corny though.
Yeah.
Now what is it about? Because you know I sing, so like, what is it about the studio that makes people want to smoke? I don't get it. I mean, it's not very big in the like singing scene, but it does happen. But I think it is bigger in the rap scene.
Yeah. So I have a theory on it. It's not very nice, but I think people saw, footage of Dre, Snoop, and all these guys smoking weed in the studio,
Mm-hmm.
and now every rapper feels like he has to do it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's one of those. It's kind of why I'm so far removed from the quote unquote hip hop community now. I don't
Mm-hmm.
consider it hip hop anymore, but it's so fake, man. Like it's so corny now. Like, for example, and there's some people are probably gonna get mad about this, but I don't care. I think Biggie was 1,000 times a better MC than Tupac. Period.
Mm-hmm. Me too. And it has nothing to do with being a New Yorker either.
Yeah, no, it's
because Tupac was from New York.
Yeah, exactly. So but here's my thing about Tupac. I actually one of my best friends, Kenji, shout out to you if you're watching, bro.
Shout out to Kenji.
Is Tupac's cousin. So he actually has Pac stories from when he was a little kid. Now, Kenji's just a little bit older than me. So when Pac was around in his family, he was a real young dude, but he's got some stories about him. If you talk to anybody who knew Tupac before, pre-record deal, and he was not a gangster by any means at all. And it's so taboo to, it's like sacrilege in hip hop if you say anything bad about Tupac or what people deem as bad. I don't hate Tupac. I'm a fan of some of his music. Some of it I think is just repetitive, but that's my opinion. But I'm not a fan of the personality he developed with fame. He wasn't a gangster, but he wanted to be. What a lot of people don't know is Tupac got a lot of people hurt running his mouth.
Oh yeah.
The Notorious B.I.G. is not here because of Tupac's mouth. I don't think Tupac intended it that way. I'm not blaming him, but these rappers don't understand the power that their words hold. And there was an entire coastal war, not just with rappers, but with the fans, bro. Tupac, and there's no mystery to how Tupac died. Okay, there's no conspiracy theory. I think they kind of closed the case on it recently. I haven't watched the documentary yet, but I knew 15, 20 years ago who killed Tupac. A guy that I rapped with, my producer slash, rap. We had a group together. Still like my brother to this day. He's from Compton. And the Southside Crips killed Tupac. And the reason is because he got involved in gang business that he shouldn't have got involved in. That guy, Orlando Anderson, that's your kill. There's no government conspiracy. Tupac was his own downfall. Wow. And what I was leading to when I started this is that's a huge problem in hip hop now, because when I came into the game, first of all, Eminem hadn't even blown up yet. I was still a young kid, but it was not okay for white guys to rap.
Right.
And if you were gonna rap, you better bring dope.
It. You better be Eminem.
So yeah, exactly. So when I came in, it wasn't that I had to be good. I had to be better than everybody for anybody to listen to me. So I worked on it, and trust me, I got laughed at a few times. Then I started roasting, some MCs in battles, and it got fun. But my resentment comes from this. Look at now where we're at, or even 10 years ago. It takes nothing now. All you got to do is have a little computer, and you can rap about no rhymes, nothing, no metaphors, no punchlines, wordplay, shadow boxes, nothing. It takes no effort.
Right.
And I resent that. You can say
the same word over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Same
or
word.
Rhyme. Yeah. And call it rhyming. And you're using the same word, or make up a word or some stupid shit. But I think that has a lot to do with, and I'm circling back to the point, it has a lot to do with that pedestal that everybody put Tupac on. Tupac was a great artist, but he wasn't a great rapper. And calling him the greatest of all time has kind of caused a regression in hip hop and lyrics. Notice after he died, everybody started trying to rap like him. So it's that inability for hip hop to tell the truth that makes it so bad.
Damn, you got deep. All I asked was why do they smoke so much weed in the studio? So Tupac kind of sounds like the way you just described them, as far as like, you know, he wasn't thugged out. You know, you could tell by pictures of him when he was younger, he didn't look thugged out. Like, he looked clean cut, kind of. And there's nothing wrong with not being thugged out. You don't have to be. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn. And I wasn't thugged out. I was considered corny. You know, but it is what it is. But be yourself. You know. And I kind of like when you were saying that, it kind of reminded me a little bit. I'm bringing it back to sports now, of Antonio Brown. Like, when he came in the league, he was a nice guy, you know, and then somewhere along the line, man, he just lost it and just became a totally different person. And like, everybody knows that that's not him. Like, people that followed him from the beginning of his career knows he's not like that. You know, it's just like it's a show. And it could be because of social media. You know, you want to be popular on social media and things like that, get some clicks or whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, you look foolish.
Well, I mean, we took a 48-mile detour on getting to the point. But when you were saying, you know, and that's my fault because I was the driver. But when you were saying, like, why is it that rappers feel like they have to smoke weed in the studio? It's, for me, when I see a rapper do anything nowadays, I don't believe it's them, just because none of them have their own personality. So like, when people smoke weed in the studio, I chalk it up to that. Some people, don't get me wrong, I know there are some people that are true potheads out there. But I have yet to hear one with something intelligent to say. So,
well, the thing is, you said that it was from Dre and Snoop, but they was smoking in the studios way before that, man. I mean, way before that.
But, I mean, you're talking about guys like Rick James and whatnot. But I mean, as far as like,
well, he was a pop star. Yeah, rappers like I don't know when did Wu come out? They came out before them, right? Before Dre, or around the same time.
NWA came out when like hip hop was just starting to come into the mainstream. Wu came out in '93. 36 Chambers.
Josh says, "Don't be fake."
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
See, he took the shortcut. I like that. He was like, you know what? You're gonna take this long ass road. I'm gonna just cut over here, take a left, and just tell you stop being fake.
Don't drive around the block. Just cut right through. There's a shortcut. So you said NWA came out. So when did NWA come out? Was that like 80? I know it was in the 80s, right? Or was it early 90s?
87.
87?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I feel like, I mean, we still had people like, well, you know what? I was never in the studio with them, so I don't know. I mean, you had Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One.
Yeah, but you would never see, especially back then on TV, you would never see somebody smoking weed on TV or any kind of platform that hip hop was on as far as TV goes. I never really heard them talk about it.
That's also when videos were coming, like starting to come out. Also, you know, we didn't have videos for a long time, and I think like they couldn't do a lot of the stuff that they do now in videos because you got FCC regulations and all that stuff. You can't get away with you couldn't get away with what you can get away with now in music videos. Like they would have never showed WAP back in the day.
Right.
You know, they would never show that. They would never show two chicks dancing on a pole ever.
Right.
Matter of fact, that's when hip hop was kind of classy too. You know, Big Daddy Kane came out with his suits all the time. You know, KRS-One. I'm trying to think of a dude that I used to like, man. That he used to have some funny punchlines. Not pun. I forgot his name.
Big L.
Nah. Oh, Big L was dope. He passed, right? Didn't Big L pass?
Yeah, he
Well,
was murdered.
yeah. Grand Pooba. I used to like Grand Pooba.
Yeah.
His punchlines were
Yep.
funny. But
Yeah,
it was a lot more clean cut back then. They
and
weren't
the irony of what you
cursing.
just said, that like stuff that's on videos now that wouldn't pass back then. The irony of that is that this is the generation that's offended by everything.
Right.
It's just ironic.
Yeah, and they let anything go on, but they get offended by anything.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
They're only offended when it's convenient to them getting out of an argument that they started. So
right, when it pushes their agenda.
Yeah. I don't believe in any kind of censorship. Yes, I hate racism as a whole, but it is also your right to be that. You know what I mean? I don't gotta hang out with you.
I mean, it sucks. It sucks, but that's everyone's right. It is what it is.
Just it's even to simplify it. I don't want everybody to like me. I just don't, because good chance is I'm probably not gonna like you either. So I don't want to. You know what I mean? So, that's the problem nowadays. I think this generation's parents didn't tell them that their opinion didn't matter that much. And
right, keep it to yourself.
Everybody's got one now.
Keep your opinions to yourself. We don't really need it.
Well, you and I talked about this before. When we were kids, trading insults was just part of the day.
Right. That was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was just fun. It was just fun. You rank on each other and then you go play stickball or something.
Yeah. Stickball, man. They don't know about that out here.
They don't know about stickball over here either in Connecticut. I don't know if they even play that anymore in New York. I haven't been in a while.
Man, New York is becoming a shopping mall.
I know, right? I know over here in Connecticut you can't find a stickball bat anywhere.
Yeah.
You should be able to, because you can create a stick. All you gotta do is put a box on a wall, and let's go. It's time to play. Get a tennis ball. I mean, you can't use a handball because they don't have handballs over here. But use a tennis ball and just go out there and play stickball, man. They don't know about that. All you need is what? A minimum of 2 people.
Yeah.
That's it. You got 4 people, you good.
Yeah.
You good to play again, man. I love stickball, man. And it was so hard to hit the ball because the bat was skinny.
Yeah.
And we used to play. Yeah, I was just gonna say we used to play with a broomstick handle sometimes because we didn't have it like that. You know, and then the more privileged kids in the projects, I say privileged with quotes because they had it bad too, but they just had a little bit more money than us. They would come out with the real deal stickball bats, man. They have electrical tape on the bottom, so they had a handle. Oh man, good old days. You ever play wiffle ball?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember playing wiffle ball? So this is how we played. We used to cut the top off, smash newspaper into it until it couldn't bend anymore. Put the top back on, tape it up with duct tape, and then we would put newspaper inside the wiffle ball too. So it's almost like you were playing hardball.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
I've never seen that method. That's dope though.
Yeah, good times, man. And then we would just play in like where the 2 buildings and the projects came together. That was home plate. That was the diamond, and we would just play all day, man.
That is some project stuff. I love that, man. It's especially in California, man. You got a lot of like liberal white kids trying to claim that they had it bad growing up, and I ask them this one simple question, like you had it bad, right? Have you ever played basketball with a milk crate? Did you ever make a hoop out of a milk crate?
Right.
You didn't have it bad. You didn't know what I'm talking about.
They probably had a nice net, nice white net, brand new.
They went to their mom's gym.
Right, they went to the country club. I mean?
Like, and that's another stab at this generation, man. Like, these people are literally talking about they got PTSD from a fender bender. Get the fuck out of here! Come on, man. I could go for
So
hours on it. But yo,
so so check this out. My son one time he told me, this is when he was like maybe like 13, 14. He goes, man, I wish I grew up in Brooklyn. I said, why? Why would you want that? He goes, because it seemed like it was pretty cool. Like, you have no idea what you're wishing, and he's one of them kids, man. He's just like the kids that are out here now. He's entitled. He think everybody, the world owes him something. And I was like, I said, you probably you wouldn't be even alive right now if you had that attitude back then in Brooklyn. And it was funny. He had a chain on. I already told you I was a cornball, right? So he had a chain on. I was like, if I would have saw you walking around in Brooklyn, I said, I would have snatched that chain from you. And I was corny. I said, you wouldn't have done anything about it.
And that's
you wouldn't have had that attitude because somebody would have punched that shit right out of you a long time ago.
Yeah, Brooklyn especially back then, man. Like, do you remember when like all the boroughs would have their their little reputation about them, and Brooklyn was always the one people would be like, I don't know, like, say you're from Brooklyn, they'd be like, "Ooh, sorry," you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, man. But he was. I mean, then again, I grew up in the '80s, man. So I was in the crack era. So I know now it's a lot better. Maybe that's what he was talking about. Growing up in Brooklyn now, because there's like, I heard Bushwick is like ridiculously nice now, and I don't remember that at all. I remember it being horrible.
Yeah, even Bed-Stuy, like all of it.
Right.
The one that's laughable is Williamsburg. That's where it all started. It's where all the hipsters moved.
Oh, really? Williamsburg?
Yeah, it's just a hipster fest.
So I went to when was it? Maybe like 6-7 years ago. This was after it was gentrified. I went to a whole bunch of us. I don't know if you're familiar with Google Plus. Are you familiar with that?
I haven't heard that term in years, but yeah.
Right, exactly, because it died. Like, it died last year, but it died way before that because they went in a bad direction and it killed the whole site. But so a bunch of us met right downtown Brooklyn by the bridge, and I was walking around. And I'm like, shit, this is not how I remember it. This is beautiful. It was amazing. It was amazing. We had breakfast at this little spot. People were sitting outside and stuff. I'm like, damn, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it was just gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Everything was maintained. It was just nice, man. I didn't grow up like that, so maybe that's what he was talking about. But I don't think that's what he was talking about.
I mean, but I think people just really see like the abstract point of view when it comes to talking about these places. And that's Zog, man. Shout out to you. I didn't even see the comments. I put
it right under.
Talk about let's talk about that real quick, man. This is my man Zog over here.
Zog, what up?
This dude is like probably one of the toughest people I know ever. He's like we've been like brothers ever since we first met. And the cool thing about when me and him met was we didn't like each other, because the problem
that's usually how it starts.
Yeah, we both moved into like a small town where it was all these little like white kids who thought they were hardcore. So naturally, like when we saw each other, we both kind of had a hood complex to us. So we saw each other and like, look at this fake ass, like, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
Then we kind of linked. We actually linked over Star Wars. It's the craziest thing. Two black guys from the hood love Star Wars. But we were actually, him and I were just having a conversation about that. And kids have such a fascination with these poverty-stricken places because they hear about them in rap songs. And guys like Biggie had a very good way of painting a picture that, kids don't understand that when Biggie talks about and he big ups Brooklyn, you got to understand that when we grew up in these places, we had to find the beauty in them. We didn't wait for some big contractor to come through, buy out all the buildings and make them pretty,
Right. It was home, man.
Yeah. But to this day, I don't know if you still feel this way, but like if I'm in a bad neighborhood or a bad area, I love to see graffiti. I love it. if it's good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But that used to be exclusive. Now it's everywhere. So
Right. Well, now people get paid to do it.
yeah, it takes the fun right out of it.
To do it. Right. It used to be you tag real quick and bounce. Remember back in the day, if you spray painted over somebody else's, that's beef right there.
Oh, yeah, you get straight up.
That was big.
They don't know. They don't know about that.
Do you remember
the razor blade in the cheek?
My brother used to do that, man. He was dope too. He put it in his mouth and just chew. I'm like, how are you doing that? How'd you even learn to do that? You had to have cut yourself a couple of times when you were learning how to do it. And after a while, they started like when people go into clubs, they would go like this to people's mouths.
Yeah. Yep.
So he had to stop doing that. Damn, that's crazy. Do you remember the Decepticons in Brooklyn? It was like a gang.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah. They were. I actually just a few months ago they were talked about in a documentary.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever met one. Or maybe I did and I didn't know, but I never officially met one. I'll say that. But I used to see
I've never met one, but I know about them.
Right. I used to see the logos everywhere. That was about it. Like, oh, what about the Autobots? Where's the Autobots? Like, am I an Autobot if they're Decepticons? Because I'm a good guy. So what was did you have a tag name at all?
Yeah, I had a few. So what did I tag for? First I tagged Chaos with a K.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Risk. And then I found out like 80,000 people use the word Risk. And when the movie Donnie Darko came out,
mm-hmm.
People just started calling me by that name because I was a rapper, and
right.
that's
and you were Donnie.
It was the weirdest little dynamic too, because that movie came out when I was in high school, and I got into a fight in history class one time, and because of my idiocy and anger, like I picked up a desk and like dropped it on this kid, and I'm not bragging about that. That wasn't cool, but I had to go see like anger management and all this stuff, and I got put on some medication. So when that happened, that movie had just come out, and they're like, "Oh, you're just like that guy."
Perfect timing.
Yeah, so it stuck. So when I started tagging, because I didn't want to tag Donnie Darko because police would just be like, "Go to that guy." So I started tagging Dark Child with a Y.
Okay. Rodney Jerkins, Dark Child, also.
Yeah, that's actually why I put the Y in there.
That's why you did that.
Yeah.
I think I had a couple. Did I have a couple? I wasn't really a tagger. I'm perpetrating, but if I was to tag, like I would tag in my books and stuff. But I think Satch was one of them. That was one of the characters in the Bowery Boys. I don't know if you know who the Bowery Boys are. It's an old school black and white show, and it was like five kids, 5 teenagers, and they used to just wreak havoc in the neighborhood. But one of the characters, his name was Satch. I was like, oh, that's a cool name. So I picked that up. And then, I don't know, I started using Jedi, but like Risk, there's Jedi everywhere. So like, that's dumb. I'm not going to do that anymore. That was it. Satch was it. And like I said, man, I didn't really tag up like that. I was corny.
Yeah, well, I think growing up in neighborhoods like that, you at least part-time tag. You know what I mean? Like once you get old enough to appreciate it, you're like, oh, I'm gonna dabble in that for a little bit. I would never say like, I never, honestly, I got into tagging just because I wanted to cover all 4 elements of hip hop. Tell
me you were breaking.
Oh, I tried. I definitely tried. I wasn't very good at it, though. I'm not going to sit here in front. Like, I mean, I could do a couple little things, but then I would show up to an actual break dancer and they would just
just demolish you.
Yeah. And they're not cool about it either. If you suck, they're no.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And the thing about see, and here's the thing about hip hop culture that I'm just realizing right now. It's so we talk about, ranking on people and stuff like that when we were kids, right? That's kind of what the hip hop culture like was kind of almost built on, because everything was a fucking battle. You had dance battles, you had rap battles, you had tagging, where people would just come up and tag over your stuff. Like you had tag battles. You had what's the other part? What, clothing,
DJ
fashion?
battles.
Oh, DJ. Yeah, you had DJ battles. Like everything was a competition. So you were kind of like DJ ranking. You know what I mean?
Right.
On the person. MC battles where you were just ranking on people, like clearly you were ranking on each other. Then dance battles, you're ranking through dance. Like it's all ranking on each other, really.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's all
and
battling. I really hate when I see videos of people like rap battling and then one person gets mad. I'm like, yo, come on, man. You're not even respecting the art. Just take your L.
yeah,
Just take your
it's
L, man.
it's so honestly, that's probably, if anybody asks me if I'm into any kind of new hip hop, I watch
Mhm.
rap battles. There's
Mhm.
like maybe 2 or 3 new artists that I actually like, and the rest can just go eat a dick. But um, uh, the battle scene has definitely grown into a
Oh,
bigger
is it?
thing, which is cool. When I used to do it, it wasn't near as big as what it is now.
Mhm.
Um,
I think it's because of YouTube and all that too.
yeah, definitely. But they what's up, crew, crew I am.
Oh, crew, what up, man? I know exactly who that is. Oh, you gotta check out this app, man. This stereo app. I've been
What's
rocking
that?
on there, man. I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it. It's pretty cool. I've been
So
rocking. I've done a couple of shows up there, but no, go ahead.
oh yeah, tell me about, yeah, I want to hear that. So yeah, I think the thing I used to love about hip hop the most, like you just said, of the environment we grew up in. Everything was a
Hmm.
battle, but if you look at, kind of, not to get all corny on you, but that was the environment. Everything was a
Hmm.
kind of a battle. You were on your
Yeah,
own. Um,
yeah, it was a battle.
it's even these old neighborhoods that like we grew up in and other people grew up, they're not the same anymore, man. Even those kids are
Hmm.
entitled.
Yep.
So I don't take these young gang members serious. It's like, dude, you're wearing skinny jeans. I know you're not packing nothing. First of all, you're not scaring nobody.
Right, right.
Um, but it's
Se-
all,
Second of all, your jeans are down to your knees, so all I gotta do is push you
yeah,
right on over.
yeah. Like,
That's all
come
I
on,
gotta do.
man. Like, it used to be this beautiful thing of hip hop started as this beautiful culture of people accepting where they were from and just
Hmm.
representing it.
Yeah,
And it didn't
yeah.
have to be, you didn't have to be a gangster. You didn't have to be any of that.
Right. And
Um,
being able to express where you're from.
yeah,
It was a
exactly.
it was a
Without
release.
shame.
It was a release.
Yeah.
We struggled. We all struggled together, and that was our release. Like hip hop was like, finally, I got something to to express my struggle through.
Hey,
You
we're
know,
on
I'm
the subject, so I gotta ask you, because it's
okay.
live, everybody's gonna see it. Who's your top 5, dead or alive?
Oh, come on. What rappers?
Yeah.
That's hard, man, because I'm an R&B singer, man. You got to give me singers. You got to give me the singer list.
I'm not
Okay.
I'm not an R&B, but I could lay out my top 5 R&B singers right now.
Yeah, but R&B is kind of universal, man. If you have
So is
sex,
hip
you
hop
listen
is
to
now.
R&B.
Yeah,
All
but
right, so
bro, you're
I'll
from New
give you
York. How do you not have a top 5?
my list. All right, and this is no particular order,
Okay.
and it might not be legit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have like probably a better list than mine, just because I don't know everybody.
Right.
All right, cool. Um, all right, top 5, no particular order. I'll put Biggie's in there for me. Um, uh, Nas. Uh, Damn. I'm trying to go. trying to be a little bit nostalgic. I would say Jay when he in the beginning, I liked him a lot more in the beginning of his career. That's 3. All right. So one person I always liked was Busta Rhymes, but
Okay.
I do like Busta Rhymes. And
Living on a Prayer. Zog says
I know. So this is gonna be corny. It is gonna be corny, but I do like his music, Drake. I'm not gonna say he's top 5, but that's just what's coming to my head right now. And I know people say he used Ghost Riders and stuff like that, I understand that. Go ahead.
But he couldn't afford one his whole career. Here's why I like that choice. I'm not a huge Drake fan, and that's mostly because I met him in person and he's a douchebag. Not to me. He would have got slapped. He was a douchebag to a lady that didn't deserve it, who brought him the wrong tea. Okay, I'm sorry. What man? You gonna call yourself a man and you're getting mad and gonna be verbally abusive to a woman over tea?
Over tea.
You pussy.
Yeah, that's right.
But here's why I like that. The reason I respected Drake when he first came out is because he came out when being gangster was the thing. Like you had to have street cred and all, or fake street cred mostly.
Right.
And he didn't try for that.
Right.
And I really respected that. He was just himself.
And I feel like he was a game changer too, man. Because he switched up everything, and now everybody sounds like him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was the gift and the curse of his. Right. So interestingly enough, you have 3 of my top 5 on yours as well. I think those guys are universal. So
Biggie, Nas, and Jay.
Yeah. So and I was gonna say no particular order too, but my number 1, I'm gonna start with him because he's always number 1 to me for one specific reason. My number 1 is Rakim.
Oh, I forgot about Rakim, man.
A lot of people do, and there's no shame in it because he hasn't really.
It's hard to do a top 5.
Yeah,
it's hard to squeeze everybody in there.
We might do another episode in the future where we talk about a top 10. I prefer the top 10, but it's easier for most people to do a top 5. But the reason Rakim is my number 1 is because, first of all, he never portrayed to be something he wasn't. He wasn't trying to be a thug. He was literally just talking about the environment he came up in. But a lot of people don't realize he actually brought intelligence to hip hop. He was saying thought-provoking things.
Right.
He was the first to use real complex word schemes and bigger words and 4 and 5 syllable words. That was Rakim. And if the reason he's number 1 to me is because without him, I don't think we would have my next 4.
Okay.
So second, Nas, obviously. When I heard Illmatic, that my life shifted because I related to it so much and because I was a kid that was living in California with the New York state of mind, pretty much. I used to bump that in my headphones. And it was just grimy, and it talked about being that kid from the gutter. It wasn't flashy at all. It kind of had the idea of like the world is yours. It talks about you dream about having that stuff, but it didn't go there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Next is obviously Jay-Z. Just the dude. That dude can rhyme. Period. Anything, and he doesn't write it down. Just like him,
he just goes in the studio. He just goes in the studio and does it.
Yeah.
So does Lil Wayne, for that matter. So he says.
That's what he says. But you know what? He's nowhere near as good as these guys. I don't dislike Lil Wayne. I really don't. I used to, but he's okay. But
he's all right. He says some stuff sometimes. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, He has there's a line that he does on this song called "Rich as F." He goes, "We fucked up, we trucked up, no ifs, ands, or but fucks, bitch. Go behind your back like nunchucks," and that's fucked up. Like, right. That was a dope little word scheme.
I like his whole 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot.
Oh yeah, that was a cool beat too.
He kills that, man. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. Come on, man.
Yep. But
crashing
then
through the
again,
wall
you look at
outfielder.
Jay-Z he has all those skills and metaphors with the ability to tell a story and paint a picture.
Right.
Reasonable Doubt is one of the best hip hop albums of all time.
Now
Black
this is
Album
gonna
as
be
well.
this is gonna be a controversial question. Would Jay-Z be Jay-Z if Biggie was still alive?
No,
Yeah, I don't think
because
so. He kind of
I
took
don't
his
think-
place. He slid in right
Yeah.
into it.
there was an
into that
open spot.
Yeah, because it was
Um,
Biggie then Jay-Z.
But we would have Jay-Z. He just wouldn't be as big as
Right. He
you know
wouldn't
what I
have
mean?
Beyonce.
But you got to do what you got to do. He capitalized off of that.
Yeah.
What kid from the gutter can't listen to Hard Knock Life and their foot's just not tapping?
Right.
Can't I can't mess. But
Uh-huh.
this is the more controversial. And Biggie's obviously there. That was my next one. Biggie, boom.
Right.
So my last, and it's very simple. Biggie's the greatest of all time. Whether you agree or disagree, yes, I agree he's not the best lyricist of all time, but whole package, Biggie's the best.
He's a great artist, man.
Yeah.
His
But here's
flow
the other
was
one that
sick.
gets controversial. And I think it just has to do with people don't want to accept him as one of the greatest of all time because of the color of his skin. And it's Eminem.
Eminem. Yeah. I was thinking about Eminem after I finished my list. That dude is ridiculous, man.
Name me one rapper that could dust him in a battle, and I'll shut up.
I can't.
Exactly.
I can't. I mean, he did a song with Jay-Z's album, and he killed him.
Yeah. So Cruz said he'd go with Eminem, Tech Nine, Ritz, Outkast, and Nas.
Mm-hmm.
I
No, you
don't-
can't pick Outkast. That's two people. I don't know who Ritz is.
Yeah,
though.
exactly. So, but here's my only issue with that, crew. And it's your opinion. If they're your top five, you gotta understand the top five I just picked. They might not even necessarily be. I mean, they are some of my, but I also factor in what they did for the genre, and I don't really think Tech Nine has done much for the genre. And Ritz is that fat white guy, right?
I don't know who Ritz is.
I'm not sure, but your
have no
list is.
idea.
I mean, Tech Nine's dope.
I think Outkast did something for the music, like as far as bringing out the South and all that stuff. But their group,
Yeah, when they put out the Love Below speaker box or whatever, I literally was looking at TV like, what the fuck is this? This is garbage. But to each his own.
right.
But yeah, man, like those guys are legends to me. I'm gonna hit you real quick though with my top 5 R&B because this could be quick.
Bastard.
Marvin Gaye, and this is only my top 5. Okay, like these are my favorite guys to listen to.
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye. I forget his name, but it's one of the dudes from Boyz II Men. Just I love the dude's vocals are insane.
Which one? The one that's always ending the songs?
This time instead, just come to. You know what I mean?
That's
Sorry, I
Wanye.
had to sing. I can't.
Wanye Morris.
Yes, there you go. Wanye. I knew it. Yeah, I knew it was something weird like that. But him, Whitney Houston. This one doesn't get a lot of credit, but I like Music Soul Child.
He's dope.
Did I say Al Green?
Nope.
And then Al Green. Boom.
Okay. Damn, you putting me in the spot, man. Okay, so no particular order, right? Cool. I'm gonna go Marvin Gaye too. I'm gonna go Sam Cooke. I'm gonna go Brandy. I'm gonna go. Got two more. Joe. I like Joe.
Oh yeah.
And let's go Tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I can't. R&B is so vast.
I had to squeeze them all into 5. That's where I go. But there's I can. You can ask me that question next week, and it's a totally different 5.
That's what I'm saying. I was just about to say all this is subject to change, folks. Like it's that's with any music though. Do you
Yeah.
listen to do you listen to any other kinds of music? Like
I mean, I listen to gospel sometimes.
that's good.
And I don't listen to a lot of rap though. When I do listen to rap, it's those people that we mentioned. Like, I don't like the new rap too much.
Me.
Even though I said I do listen to Drake, but
Yeah.
but even some of his songs are just corny to me. Even the ones that are like big, they're corny to me. But what else do I listen to? I'll listen to like classic rock. Like I'll listen to like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. And pop. I mean, who doesn't listen to pop? It's just popular music. So and every genre is in the pop category.
Yeah.
That's about it. And I really like listening to singer-songwriter stuff. I don't know how that became
So
a
much more
category.
respect for people who write their own songs.
Oh yeah, me too. Like Ed Sheeran, I really like Ed Sheeran.
That dude is dope.
He's a beast, man. Bruno Mars produces, writes, and performs his own songs.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous.
I think Raheem Devon does that too. And I really like Raheem Devon.
He's dope, man. He's a sleeper dude. Not a lot of people know about him. You got my respect just now.
Oh man. You
got my respect. Not a lot of people know about him.
Yeah, it's surprising though, because his voice is insane.
Keep talking.
Raheem Devon, he hits notes that he shouldn't be able to hit. The other one though, like just respect for her talent, Mariah Carey, because how many singers do you know that could hit those notes? See what he said, Rich is a bigger guy. I feel like Tech-9 is something for his state. He's number one independent. Also, I feel like people raw. You know what? Yeah, Tech-9 did do a lot independently. But the best independently, I think that would go to E40. And E40 is not even my favorite. I don't listen to a lot of E40. But E40 was the dude that started the kind of independent movement. And if you were to ask Tech-9, I bet you he would tell you that he was inspired by E40 to do that. But I will say this, Tech-9 is quite the entrepreneur, because if you go to Kansas City, you will see the Strange logo on a lot of different businesses. So yeah, Tech-9 has my respect, no doubt. He's a dope rapper, but yeah,
I couldn't tell you any Tech-9 songs.
Honestly, I don't have one Tech-9 album.
I know he exists, like I know who he is, but I don't think I've ever heard.
Or
maybe I have heard it, but I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, so I was kind of drawn off from Tech-9 early because he was doing songs with Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, was
he? And those guys are just so.
ICP.
But I was saying when you left, man, what do you think about Mariah Carey?
I like old Mariah Carey.
Right.
I think she's corny now. I mean, I don't know if she still has the vocals or not, but her first like 2 or 3 albums, they were really good, man. Her vocals were ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. So I like her.
Good album, Emancipation.
Her last good album to me, I think was it called Butterflies or something like that? I think it had one sweet day up there, Boyz II Men.
Yeah, that was Butterfly.
I think
you didn't like Emancipation?
Nope. Emancipation of Mimi?
Yeah.
Nah, that was the album that she tried to go like a little bit hip hoppy, right?
Yeah, see, I was digging that.
I like that,
the production on it. I can't stand Jermaine Dupri, but I liked his production on that.
Yeah, some of his songs, some of his production I don't like, but I think that Jermaine Dupri and Usher mesh really well.
Yes.
I think he, for some reason, he knows how to produce Usher, and Usher knows how to sing on his productions, man. They're just real good. It's like Justin Timberlake and Timbaland.
Yeah.
You know, they just
Little Bow Wow and Failure. You know what I mean?
Lil who? Who's that? I don't know who that is. I
Do
don't know who
y'all
that
like
is.
the old Eminem or the new Eminem?
I think they're both good. They are both different.
I have an answer. So I like the album work of the old Eminem, but I like the lyrical work of the new Eminem better. Lyrically, he's grown insanely. But that dude set such a high bar for himself with those first 3 albums. Like, I don't expect him to put out another classic because he just
Right.
he hit us with the trifecta, and now all he's got to do is be a lyricist.
Right. I will say what got me was what got me on board, like everybody else, was his first album, man. He is such a good storyteller on that album. It's just crazy, man. And I don't know about shrooms and all that stuff, but the way he was telling the stories was like, damn, he is killing it.
He was genius about it. Here's why he was genius about it. Eminem is from the hood. There is no question about it. You talk to anybody from Detroit, he's from the hood. But he was such a genius. He knew he couldn't come out and into the mainstream and be like, "Oh, I'm from the hood." Da, 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 da. So what did he do? He painted that picture of poor white America, so that he was, relatable to everybody.
Right. So vivid.
Yeah, vivid is the perfect word. He's very and then I love his ability to just say something so offensive but and so wrong that nobody else could say, but when he says it, it's like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like,
right.
I remember when the Marshall Mathers LP came out, and my mom accidentally heard me listening to it. And
which one? Marshall Mathers?
Yeah. So the first song on there, what the hell's that first song called? Where he says, he's like, "Shut up, slut. You're causing too much chaos. Just bend over and take it like a slut. Okay, ma?" Like,
You would
never catch me saying that. I don't even want to think of my mom that way. Like, in any way like that. But the way Eminem can just say things that other people can't, because he set that avenue up for himself.
Right, he did, right from that first album, man. Right from that first album. He came out saying whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous, it was fun, it was controversial. Like, he hit so hard with that first album that, like you said, he set up an avenue for himself where he could just fucking say anything he wants.
Yeah.
It's
Stan was a whole, like, that was genius. But
Stan
I think
crazy, man.
The first time I saw Eminem's genius was on the first Slim Shady LP, where he did the 97 Bonnie and Clyde. You've never heard a song, Kill You. Somebody rapping, but baby talking to their daughter that he just killed her mom.
Right.
Who thinks of that?
Oh my God.
And then the follow-up album, you got the prequel to that, where it's a domestic violence case on wax. And it's crazy. And then Stan, for as dark as that song was, for him to be able to make such a dark song was a radio hit, that seals it for me. So it's like, when you talk about whole Pat White, he's one of the, I agree with,
he was always talking about killing Kim, man.
Lord Jamar. Yeah. Did you hear anything about like Lord Jamar and that whole issue he had with Eminem? So who's Lord Jamar? Argument here is that Lord Jamar said that Eminem's not even top 10, which I disagree. Eminem got mad though and then dissed him on his last album because Lord Jamar said that white people are guests in the house of hip hop. Yeah, crew knows.
I don't know. That's racist.
It is, but you know what? Here's my thing on it.
And if Eminem said that shit, he would be crucified. Or maybe not Eminem, because he could say whatever he wants. But if somebody said Tiger Woods is in at the white people's dinner table or whatever,
right?
It would be there would be rioting in the streets.
Yeah, he didn't take too kindly to it. Here's my thing. I wouldn't be as mad at Lord Jamar for saying that if there wasn't so many racial undertones to it.
Right, right.
I always liked being one of the very few white kids that people knew that rap. Now they're everywhere. It's just not fun anymore the way it used to be. But I would agree that yes, it's black culture and that we are guests. But at what point do we become a welcome guest? You know what I mean? And I think Eminem has earned his spot.
Right.
But like you're talking about, you know, the genius and like him being able to say things that were offensive. That second album again, he's got lines that they had to edit out on the explicit version. I'll take 7 kids from Columbine, stand them all in line, add an AK-47, a revolver, a 9, a Mac-11, and it ought to solve a problem of mine. And that's a whole school of bullies shot up all at one time. It's like, whoa. And
he's so nasty, man.
One more. This is where you were saying like he could get away with saying that. There was one that another edited, or not edited. He just didn't say the word. He goes, "I drink more liquor to fuck you up quicker than you'd want to fuck me up for saying the word." You know what I mean? So is even when he won't go there, he still goes there.
Right. He's like Gary Owens, man. You know who Gary Owens is?
Yeah.
The comedian. His whole audience is black.
Yeah.
You don't see no white people at his shows, and all he does is talk about black people.
Yep.
But he could get away with it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's funny though because we were talking earlier. This generation, if Eminem were to come out now, would he be as big? Probably not. People are so offended nowadays. Now we're used to Eminem, so.
Right. But like who? He's such an anomaly. Like, it's going to be hard. I mean, you got like, I don't know how you feel about Machine Gun Kelly, but I feel like for the next white guy ever to break in, it's going to be hard because Eminem has set such a high bar. Because even like, I feel like Machine Gun Kelly is good. He's no Eminem.
No.
You know, he's not even close to Eminem. He thinks he is, but he's not. He's not even close.
And that's my only problem with him is that he thinks he is.
Right. Like, give the man the respect that he deserves. Leave him be.
Well, you have a daughter.
Yeah.
The whole thing started over a man or Machine Gun Kelly making sexual comments about Eminem's daughter. You don't go there, bro. And he feels like they were harmless. But I think my whole issue with him was this. Like, when I heard his diss song, I'm like, you're coming to Eminem. Like, do better. You know?
Right.
Your beard is weird.
I mean, that's the best he could do, man. That's the best he could do.
Then don't. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. This is Eminem.
Right. Like, you can't do that. Like, okay, so now we're talking about battles. How'd you feel back in the day with Cannabis and LL?
Oh man, that was when Cannabis was still good.
Right.
That was fun. I was more. The one that really got me excited was Nas and Jay-Z.
Okay.
It's the LL. I think the funny thing about LL was he was in that beef, and he didn't really have to say much. He had like 5 other people come on and say it for him, you know?
Right. I mean, because when you're a legend, you don't gotta say anything.
Nah.
You know, he's already he wasn't even rapping anymore. But he came out. I kind of like his comeback better.
Yeah.
My favorite line was when he said 99% of your fans don't exist. Yeah. I love that shit, man.
Yep. But it was the statement he was making by having all those other people on the track was like, this is light work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Lyrically, I think Cannabis was more capable at the time. But I gotta ask you though, since I brought it up though, who do you think won, Jay-Z and Nas? Keep it a buck.
You know what? Off the top of my head, I don't even remember the songs. I think at the time, and this is what I'm going to go with because I don't know now, but I think Nas did.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of people do. That's a very I give an unpopular answer.
I think that's what I thought. I don't, like I said, I don't remember.
To me, just at first when I first heard Ether, I was like, oh man. But if you go and listen to the lyrical just jabs they were taking, Nas was more serious and Jay-Z was kind of like this little guy, you know?
Yeah.
So I think the takeover was better lyrically. Just because of it was like Jay-Z didn't just go at Nas, he went at like everybody on that one. Called Prodigy Twinkle Toes. Rest in peace, Prodigy. I love Prodigy. Right. Man,
that's Mobb Deep, right? Yeah, that's Mobb Deep.
Yes, Mobb Deep.
I used to like Mobb Deep, man. Prodigy,
I mean,
dope.
From New York, it's like you sing that in church in New York. I mean, they're singing Shook Ones at Sunday Mass.
Yeah,
at least in the 90s.
Well, the thing about the Jay-Z and Nas one is that it was two legends going at it. Yeah, like they like, you know, we say Cannabis and LL, like Cannabis, no matter how hard Cannabis would have went at LL, even if he was like dope, he still wouldn't be able to. He doesn't have a leg to stand on because LL is such a staple in the music industry and hip hop culture. Period. Like you can't really get at him.
Yeah.
No matter what you say. But when you got Jay-Z and Nas, you got two legends getting at each other.
Yo, you ever want to just cringe hard in embarrassment for somebody? Watch Cannabis versus Disaster. It's a battle.
Oh, okay.
I felt so bad for Cannabis. I felt so he stepped into the new battle ring and oh man, Disaster is probably one of my favorite battle rappers to begin with, but he's brutal, and Cannabis got tossed up on that one. And
Disaster. Okay. I'm looking.
He showed up to the battle with his arm in a sling.
Who? Cannabis?
Yeah.
How do you feel about you know how Sway has like freestyle, like the freestyle stuff?
Yeah.
On Sirius. How do you feel about them calling that freestyling? Because I grew up, and you did too, with actual freestyling.
Yeah, you had to. Yeah, you had to be
like you talk about stuff that's around you. You know, talk about the stuff that the person has on, stuff like that. And when I see these people go on there and he's like, okay, bust a freestyle, you could tell they wrote this. Like you could tell because they're not talking about anything.
Yeah,
anywhere, nothing that has to do with anything.
You bring up something that I think most people in the hip hop community have avoided and have been afraid to bring up. It's funny, they always avoid that that subject of what you can call a freestyle. Right. But yeah, they've made it now so that you can literally spit a written and call it a freestyle.
Right. That's not a freestyle.
The way I feel about it is don't call it a freestyle.
Right. Just say, listen, I can't freestyle, but I got stuff.
Yeah. Call it a cipher or whatever you want. You know what I mean? But
right.
Freestyle, come on.
I hate that, man. I hate it so much when I see it. And like I'll sit there and I'm waiting to see what they're gonna talk about. And it's like, this is not a freestyle. Not at all.
Yeah.
Why is he talking about his car? This isn't a freestyle. You ever heard of a dude? I'm sure you have that he's on Facebook all over the place. Harry Mack.
Harry Mack.
Yeah. This dude, you gotta check him out, man. You would love him. You would love him.
He's a rapper.
Yeah. He's a freestyle artist. Okay. I never heard like any of his. I don't know if he has stuff. He probably does, but I follow him on Facebook. He walks around LA with a little JBL speaker, and he walks up to people and introduces himself, and he's like, "You mind if I do a little freestyle?" And he tells them, "Give me give me a few words, and they give him the words, like 3 or 4 words, and he starts rapping about those 3 words.
Yes.
And he hits each word, right? And then after he's done hitting the words, he starts picking out people, talking about their shirts, talking about people going, oh snap, like doing all kinds of things. He's so dope, man. You really gotta check him out.
So he's original with it, because that's how you used to showcase freestyling,
right?
Was bringing up as many things in your environment, your current environment that you were rapping in,
yep,
and being able to incorporate that in your lyrics.
Right. That's
the
nasty,
way it should be.
You really, and the thing is, he's actually making it sound good. Like some people and I'm not saying this is, I'm not putting down anybody, but because I can't do it. Some people freestyle and they can't really connect everything, but they still rhyme it. They still rhyme, and that's cool because not everybody's at that level. Like
right.
I couldn't do it. It is what it is. But he's like he's so good at it, man. You would like if you were listening to it like on a radio, you would think he wasn't freestyling. You would think it was a song because of the way he just flows, and he does different cadences, and he'll start rapping fast. And like, damn, this dude is good, man. He probably has a map like that he goes by in his head.
Yeah, I mean, so I think this is what I used to do, to be honest. Like, especially rapper things and memorize them, and then figure out how to incorporate them into an actual freestyle. So that I'm okay with because it's hard to come up with metaphors on the spot. It's damn near impossible. So like even for Jay-Z with his punchlines, I guarantee you he's got them like stashed away somewhere.
Oh yeah, or
whatever.
Definitely.
Because that's also the curse of being a rapper, though. Is even my girl sometimes she doesn't understand. My mind just goes elsewhere, and I'm listening to nobody because I'm constantly trying to make words rhyme. Still to this day, and I don't even rap like that no more.
Yeah. It's still in you though, man.
But yeah, it always will be. And
it's a condition. You condition yourself for that.
Yeah, even as a kid before I was a rapper, so I have this really weird, I don't know if it's like a mental condition or whatever, but in order for me to like learn how to read, because I had trouble in the beginning, and I started realizing that the way I saw words was almost like an EKG. And the EKG would go up when there was a syllable break. So I see words in syllables and movements. So like if you were to write a word on the screen, or if you
have a rhythm.
Yeah, it's so weird. It was like it's like, so if you were to tell me a word right now, if I were to close my eyes, I would see that word broken up on different levels by the syllable. Wow. Yeah, my girl, she runs the gambit sometimes, and she'll just say a word and I'll just say the syllables. So it's a weird, at first it was kind of a hindrance, but then when I learned how to deal with it and use it to my own advantage, that's what made me so capable of rapping.
Yeah, because it's all cadences and putting stuff together.
Yeah.
Damn, that's dope.
But I think that's any natural artist. Like I know a R&B singer who sees music notes in colors.
Damn.
I don't know how to explain that. He explained it to me, and I still don't fully understand, but it's some people just see things differently.
Right. I mean, I know I see things like in stanzas, because I'm always thinking about writing something. So I'm writing like one line, and the second line has something to do with the first line, but it's under it because I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna sing it differently, but it's really one line. But I split it into like 2 or 3 lines because I'm gonna sing it differently, and that's kind of like my reminder to sing it a certain way. I don't know. I think we all have something like that.
I think every true artist probably does have what leading scientists would deem like some sort of mental disability to everybody else, but it's what makes them original. It's what makes them capable to do art. I think anybody who's an artist can agree that you have to be, outside of the box and kind of.
Yeah, you gotta be a little weird.
Yeah, you got to be marching to the beat of your own drum.
Right.
in order to be an artist. Because if
Yep.
you talk to people who aren't, ask them to be artistic about anything, and they can't. And that's
Right.
fine. Other people are good at other things.
Yeah, I think everybody has an artistic side though. Some
Yeah.
people are better at it than others, but I think everybody does. It's just a matter of tapping into it and finding the one that clicks with you.
Unless you're a modern day liberal, you don't have any thoughts of your own. Sorry, I had to take a jab.
You had to go there, right? You just had to.
Yeah,
You had to slide that one in there.
had to go, man.
There's
It's
a lot
like-
of people. There's a lot of people that don't have thoughts of their own nowadays.
Yeah, I think that's a generational thing, to be honest.
Yep.
And Joe Biden just doesn't have thoughts.
Oh, he's got thoughts.
Ooh, no one. Sorry.
He's got thoughts.
It's a legal about kids.
Right.
disgusting.
Exactly.
Joe, stop touching kids, man. It's not appropriate. You are the
man.
soon to be possibly president of the United States. Stop touching kids. Sorry.
Listen, he apologized for it, so it makes it okay. Don't you know that?
Oh, yeah. It's cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah, he
it's
apologized.
cool if
so
you
it's
apologize for it.
it's water under the bridge. Don't you realize that? Why are you still bringing it up?
But you know what? Here, not to get political, but I just got to say this: like, if you're, if you hate Donald Trump because he's a quote unquote racist, it doesn't make it better to vote for the pedophile. Vote
Right.
independent.
Right.
Like, start. That's another thing America really needs to get a grip of. You guys, everybody hates the two candidates. I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, we're stuck with one or the other." Not really.
Right.
Start voting for the independent guy. Run
Yeah.
for president yourself if you think you can do it. I
You
think
know what
we've
it is,
boxed
though?
ourselves in to the blue and red.
It's because the media only puts out two of them. You know, they don't really broadcast the independent.
You know what?
Which
The
is-
media
which is
made
dumb.
that "Catch Me Outside" girl famous. I think we need to disband
Yeah,
the
no
media
kidding.
altogether.
No kidding. And you know, I think the last independent we had was Ross Perot.
He's actually the
And-
last one that actually stood
Yeah.
a chance.
Right. But he ended up splitting the vote.
Yeah.
That's really what ended up happening. But that's about it. And you're right. He's the last one that had a shot. There's been independents. I mean, when you go down the line, there's like what Green Party and Mothers Against Drunk Driving Party. There's all these weird parties that are there that nobody knows. You know,
Yeah.
nobody knows who these people are because they're not being media doesn't put them out there.
Yeah, well, when you factor in that every major media outlet in America is owned by the same few people, that's a little alarming.
Right.
It's that's why I think I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I hate it because, you know, it makes people who aren't tough enough to speak in public their own mind have a mouth. And I believe that my thing is this: if I won't say it to your face, I won't say it at all.
Right.
There's no point.
Right.
That would just make me a pansy. I'm not doing that. But there are too many people that feel safe behind their keyboard now,
Right.
having opinions that aren't even their own.
Keyboard warriors.
It's keyboard commandos. But the great side of it is that once we get all these fact checking, notice with fact checks, they don't ever tell you where they got their info from. They just go, "Oh no, this is wrong. We fact checked it."
Right.
They don't ever tell you what their source is because there is no fact check. They just don't like what you said. Once we get past that censorship, social media can change the way we hear about things.
Yeah, but I mean, that fact checking just started.
Yeah,
You know, within the last year or two, it just started. Before that, people were able to say whatever they wanted on social media. So there wasn't really any censorship on there. It's just I think Trump winning kind of set everything off.
Yeah.
I think it kind of set everything off.
It's a sad day when just because you don't like what somebody says, it's up for debate whether or not legal action should be taken. I'm a firm believer in the First Amendment. That's why I said earlier, I hate racism, but it's your right.
Right.
If you want to be a dumbass, that's your right.
Yeah.
So
as long as it doesn't affect me or anybody else, you can be racist in your own home. Don't bring it out to the public. I feel like.
Well, I mean, even if you do, like, here's my thing about it. Yes, I want you to bring it out to the public. Why? So the public can eat you alive on it.
Mm-hmm.
You enter at your own risk. But the problem is the public now is a generation that doesn't know how to defend itself.
Mm.
One of the things I learned, though, too, was I've met racist people before. When we start labeling everything as racist,
then nothing's
it deflects
racist
from the actual issue. You know what I mean?
If everything's racist, nothing's racist, right?
Right. So I don't believe in closet racist because I've met racist people before and they're proud of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing you can tell them. But I actually had somebody tell me that because of the color of my skin, I'm preconditioned to be racist. I'm like, well, that's a racist statement within itself.
Right.
And,
but you can't say that, though.
No, I can't say that. But
you can't say it's a racist statement in itself.
Yeah. Hate crime. But look at, like, if I'm a racist, I'm a terrible racist. If you look at my friends list, I got very few white friends.
Right. You're doing a bad job.
I was raised by black people. I got 2 half brothers that are Mexican. Mm-hmm. Okay. And let's be honest, Italians weren't the favored immigrants at the time they came either. So it's like,
none of
we're not going to end stupidity. It's never going to go away. Stop trying to censor it. It's just because if you censor one thing, you got to censor everything, and that's what's happening right now.
Got to censor everything. You're right.
Like if I tell my friend or my brother, like, hey, you're acting like half a fag, that's offensive. I can't say that anymore, right? But
that was in so many movies back in the day too. You could say that whenever you wanted.
Yeah, it was so. But here's the funny thing: I know gay people that are absolutely not offended by that. They use the word.
Right.
And it's like it's really angry liberal white girls with purple hair that are mad.
So now I'm trying to get a gauge how you feel. So okay. So back in the day, when something was whack, we used to say that's mad gay, right?
Yeah.
I mean it is what it is. We all know that we all used to use it. I'm not saying anything that it was wrong to say it or that it was right to say it, but we did used to say it back in the day. If something was corny, we say, yo, that's mad gay. And it had nothing to do with your sexual preference. We just said it was gay, right? So here's the thing. Here's how I feel. If I'm around someone that is offended by it, I would appreciate, and I don't really say that anymore anyways, but that was more of a 90s, 80s thing. But if somebody was offended by it, I would feel better if they came and said, yo, Aunt, can you do me a favor and just tone down on that word? Can you not say it? I would respect that.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? Cool. I'm cool with that. Don't take away my right to say it, because, we're all human. We got to be nice to each other. You know what I'm saying? So if it does offend you, you come tell me in a nice way, can you tone it down? It really offends me when you say so. I bet I won't say it no more. That's fine. That's cool with me. I'm hunky dory. I will never say it in front of you again, but don't take away my right to say it over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I don't say it anymore, but but I mean, it was big back then.
I mean, I agree to an extent. I also disagree a little bit, and here's why. If you don't like it, you leave. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it to be a dick. It's just everybody says stuff that people don't like. Period.
Mhm.
You're gonna hear stuff you don't like every single day. For example, because I don't vote for Joe Biden, I'm a racist, apparently. Okay.
Mhm. Right.
Again, I'm not a very good one, but apparently I am, right? The fact that this person or whoever or a group of people is calling me racist, I don't give a shit.
Mhm.
If that's what you want to think, if that's your scapegoat, you can call me whatever you want. I know me. You know what I mean? I think it's just as if you're offended by a word or a title or whatever, you should be real careful about who you call a racist, because that's an offensive term in itself for somebody racist. So
Right,
with me, I just
right.
learned to not be offended. What did our grandparents tell us growing up? Sticks and stones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I kind of live by that. Now I don't go around. I think people need to learn when to have some class and when not to say certain things. I don't go around cussing in front of kids or
Sure.
saying words that they shouldn't hear in public.
Or at the workplace.
Yeah, it's just there's certain places to have class, but I don't like the avenue that all these sensitive kids have nowadays, that if they're in the area, you got to watch your every word.
Right.
Because you can't even say fat no more.
I say I'm fat all the time.
But yeah, you know, and that's the thing though. Like, there's whole organizations now that are like word police over everything. You know, the word retarded used to be a medical term.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now mentally challenged is offensive. And that was the politically correct way to say it for a while. I just feel like it's a double standard. There's just too many. If there's going to be double standards, wipe the whole shit away. Like, nobody should be offended by anything. I'm more offended. I'm more offended that if you want to get violent and crazy over a difference in opinion. I think that's more offensive than a word.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have a debate with you. I don't mind debating, but I'm not going to argue with you. I'm all set.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind a difference. If you have a different opinion than me, cool. That's what makes us human. We're all different. You know, if you have a different opinion, that's cool. Don't attack me because I have a different opinion. You know,
don't put absolutes on it either. Like, I don't think that right now I don't like the beliefs of liberals, and that's not because I'm a registered independent. You can't call me a Republican, but
so am I.
I don't like the way they act right now. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to hate somebody because they believe differently than I do.
Right.
I don't believe in gun control. You do. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
And it's cool. You can have your beliefs and I can have mine. And we could still be friends.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then you can draw your own personal lines. For example, like I said, I've met racists, lots of them, and they are proud to be racist.
Oh,
I'm not friends with any of them.
Put it out there.
I don't want to be friends with somebody like that.
I feel you. So what were your favorite cartoons growing up Saturday mornings?
Ooh.
Let's take a left turn and make this light. Let's lighten this up a little bit. Well, you know what? Not Saturday morning, just favorite cartoons, period, when you were younger.
So Looney Tunes was obviously. I miss Looney Tunes. Cartoons aren't the same no more.
If you have I don't know if you have HBO Max, they got the whole catalog of Looney Tunes.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You got to say right, and they remastered them and everything.
Corny as Space Jam was, I love that movie too.
I didn't like Space Jam, man.
But man, I love Michael Jordan and I love Bugs Bunny, and them two together was
man. I'm a Knick fan. I'm all set.
Ooh, yeah.
I hated Michael Jordan.
You know what? I I love Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing was
Love Patrick Ewing.
poor guy was injury plagued, but
Yeah, he was.
I love the 90s basketball scene in general. You talking about you had like Muggsy Bogues,
Yeah,
Charles
man.
Barkley.
It was rough back then, man. It was physical.
Yeah.
Very
It wasn't
physical.
right now. It's like one team dominates. Wherever LeBron's at, they dominate, right?
Right.
Back then, it was like you didn't know that Jordan was going to win another championship every year.
Right.
He had somebody standing in his way all the time. Like the last one against the Jazz, it looked like they were going to come out with it.
Yeah. Hell yeah, it did.
But as far as cartoons go, I'm still a maybe that's why I'm so offensive. South Park is my favorite one now.
Okay.
And that's okay. And that goes into my personal beliefs. I don't take anything too serious. I
Does
laugh.
that, wait. Does that count as a cartoon when you were younger? Was that out?
It came out when I was like just breaking into my teens.
I guess that will count. I don't know if that will count.
But as a kid, so as it's
I'll
weird
give you
though, as
South
an
Park.
80s baby though, dude, because as an 80s baby, we loved like when Ninja Turtles, the movie came out, we liked realistic type stuff.
I love Ninja Turtles when they came out.
Like it's different now because back then the stuff we were into is not appropriate for kids today. Like remember when Terminator came out? Kids loved that movie. You know, RoboCop. Kids love that movie.
Oh my God.
RoboCop
was so good. RoboCop 2 was good too.
Labyrinth taught us to never let creepy guys talk us into doing anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Don't trust David Bowie is what
Don't trust David Bowie.
That's what I learned. Never trust David Bowie. Rest in peace,
I was
David
more
Bowie.
of a Star Wars Ninja Turtles nerd.
Okay.
Back to the Future, stuff like that. Oh, and Top Gun. Top Gun.
Oh man. Dude,
my grandmother had to buy that tape.
I had the VHS.
Yeah, with the Pepsi commercial at the front of it.
I love Top Gun, man.
Yeah.
80s movies I just love.
So many of those different. I used to watch it twice a day as a 4-year-old. Looking back now, I'm like, okay, that graphic sex scene that was in there, a 4-year-old probably shouldn't be watching that. But no, my grandfather was a naval aviator as well. So for the first couple years of my life, I lived on base, and I thought that's what I was going to do with my life because I lived with my grandparents. Sure. So my goal was to be Maverick one day, even on base. All the pilots and Rios and everything on base. I'm walking around. They would be like, "Hey, what's up, Pete? What's up, Maverick?" They would be calling me. That was my nickname because that's who I wanted to be.
Right.
But
I love Back to the Future.
Classic.
How would you rank the Back to the Futures?
Ooh.
Like the sequels and stuff.
Probably in their order because
not me. I go 1, 3, 2.
You like the third better than the second?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, the second was just a filler to me.
Second, because it was another one of those corny 80s. I loved the way they thought the future would be in the 80s.
Yeah.
But I like that. But my favorite part, ironically, is that when they go back into the alternate reality and it's like a post-apocalyptic Biff world, like that was cool. Yeah.
That was cool, but that maybe because I like westerns in general too. So it was like two things mashing up: Back to the Future and western.
What's your favorite western?
My favorite western. Damn, you bastard. I like a lot of them.
Forgive me if I don't shake hands. Tombstone, man.
I believe you're not wearing a bustle. I believe you're not wearing a bustle.
I
love Tombstone,
so
man.
Good.
I'm your Huckleberry.
That's the best. You know what?
You got that on your soundboard?
No, that was me.
Oh, that was you? Do it again. That sounded good because you actually froze, so I couldn't see what you were doing, but I heard you.
Forgive me if I don't shake hands.
Oh my God, that's that is like surreal. If I close my eyes, I would think, okay, how long did it take you to get that? Because I feel like you practiced that.
No, honestly, I've always been pretty good at impressions. And
Okay.
they say that when you're a kid who grew up in like traumatic experiences, that you like, one thing happening after another, you learn to observe people within like a split second. So I've always been pretty good at, there's some that I just can't do because I don't have the vocal range for it. But I'm pretty good at, I could listen to somebody for a minute and probably do an impersonation of them.
That's dope. Let me give you my best impersonation. This is my go-to, and this is the only one I got in my arsenal. And it's probably not even that great. But all right, you ready for this? Super Nintendo Sega Genesis.
When I was that broke, man, I couldn't
all I
picture.
got.
That was awesome.
That's all I got. I can't go further than that.
When I was that broke, man, I couldn't picture this 50-inch screen, money green leather sofa. Got 2 rides, a limousine with a chauffeur.
Ooh, I'll be right back. Stay right there. Keep talking.
Phone bill about 2 G's flat. Yeah, man. Notorious B.I.G. There you are, Zog. Thought you went away for a minute. Yeah. So, what's your top Western? Darth Zog. He ain't giving me one. Yeah, Tombstone, definitely my favorite. A lot of people, I do like Young Guns, though. Young Guns had the better soundtrack. Want it. Sorry, I can't do, I tried to do Bon Jovi and sounded like Nickelback. Unforgiven. Nice. You haven't.
Oh, Unforgiven was good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Did you like Young Guns?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just saying that. I'm like, Young Guns had the better soundtrack with Bon Jovi, and then I tried to sing Bon Nickelback, who I can't stand, by the way.
Oh, man.
Nickelback and Creed sound the exact same to me. It's always like that,
Look at
that
this
weird
photograph. Like that grunge, right?
Down from heaven, the power and the glory.
Unforgiven was a long ass movie though. I like Silverado.
Okay.
You ever seen that one?
Yep.
That one was good. I liked come on, I like Blazing Saddles. Come on, you gotta like Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah, classic. I think Blazing Saddles, was that the one that beat out Star Wars for? No, that was I don't know. I'll look into it. What was the John Wayne movie where the little kid is fishing and he walks up to him? He's like, "You should go on the other side of the river." And the kid was like, "I can't." John Wayne was like, "Why not?" He goes, "Well, I can't swim." And he picks the kid up and throws him in the in the pond. His mom comes running out like, "Well, what'd you do?" He's like, "He's got to learn someday."
Was that the one that was a remake? The one with
Nah, it was a classic like John Wayne movie. I gotta send you that video because it's literally how I feel about kids today. That's what we need to do. Just throw them in the water.
Just throw him in the pool. He'll learn how to swim.
You know, with life. That's a good life metaphor right there.
Right, exactly. Damn, I'm trying to think of 310 to Yuma was good. So here's the thing. I like Westerns and post-apocalyptic stuff. So like I like Mad Max. I like I Am Legend. I like
Escape from New York.
Yeah, man. Yep. Damn, I was gonna say something else. I totally forgot. The Book of Eli was good. That was good. I even like Waterworld, even though it was corny. It still had that that post-apocalyptic element to it.
That was back when Kevin Costner was just crushing it and could
Yeah.
do whatever he wanted. I
Yep.
liked Waterworld.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it, but a lot of people say that kind of killed him.
He's doing good again. I guess he got a real successful show out now.
Yeah, that it's on Paramount.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Yeah. I like him though. I like him. He's in a movie on Netflix too with Woody Harrelson. Highwaymen. That was good.
I've never seen it. I got to check it out.
Yeah, it was good.
Did you ever see the Robin Hood with him in it?
Yes, I kind of liked that one though. I kind of liked it.
That movie was huge back then.
The only thing I like about it is that his accent was going in and out.
Honestly, I think it's. Yeah, a lot of people had a problem with that. I heard. I liked. I think to this day it might be my favorite interpretation of Robin Hood because I haven't really seen one that wasn't so derivative.
There haven't been any good ones.
Yeah,
there really have not been any good ones.
What
the
about
one with Go ahead.
You remember Big Trouble in Little China?
Absolutely.
Classic. You want to know? Absolutely. You want to hear something blasphemous?
Jack Burton.
The Rock is remaking that movie.
Is he with who? Kevin Hart?
No, you want to hear? So talk about classics, and it is the holiday season. Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Hart's remaking that.
Is he?
Yeah. Leave my movies alone.
For real. You know which one? What I always wanted to, what I was campaigning for, it didn't go anywhere, but I was campaigning for it. I thought, yeah, 3 Men and a Little Baby, right?
Oh, with Tom Selleck.
I'm sorry, three Men and a Baby. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Rock.
Well, there was a sequel called 3 Men and a Little Lady.
Yeah. I just mashed them both together just now.
Yeah.
So The Rock, Kevin Hart, and Zac Efron. I feel like that would work.
That would be. That might actually.
Right? I think it would be good.
But I would. You know who I might throw into that mix over The Rock would be. I don't really like
Billy
The Rock,
Bob.
I think
Billy Bob Thornton.
Nah, I would put in Mark Wahlberg. I think Mark Wahlberg is hilarious trying to be that softy.
Yeah, but he's kind of one note though. Well, I guess so is Kevin Hart. But I don't know.
I think he's hilarious. Like when he did that Will Ferrell stepdad, him trying to
he's good. He is good. He is good. I like him in comedies.
Our little girl, as any little 3-year-old would, loves Frozen, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, I ended up having to watch it at one point. And
right. At one point, my ass, you've probably seen that movie about 150 times.
When I was talking about one point, I meant the whole year.
Oh, got it.
But I remember the first time seeing it, and then I saw that movie where he's like, "Wow, I can't believe this is happening." He's all shocked. It was. He's all into it. That was just hilarious to me.
Have you ever seen the second one?
Mark Wahlberg, like, talk about a guy that rappers wish they could be. Everybody wants to make fun of Marky Mark, but that dude's got like 67 violent felonies. He's probably the most realest gangster rapper there ever was.
Yep. His brother too, Donnie. His brother's right in there too, and he was a new kid on the block.
Yeah. No, who would have knew? You know what I mean?
Those guys were crazy, man. I'm sure they still got it in them because it never leaves you.
Wait, they're from Southie, and you're in Connecticut. You know about Southie out in Connecticut, man. I mean,
do I? I don't know about that.
Not in Connecticut. I mean, Massachusetts. Connecticut's right there.
Yeah,
South Boston is they say one of the roughest neighborhoods in America.
Especially back then when they were growing up.
Yeah, I don't buy the roughest neighborhoods in America currently, because the roughest neighborhood in America nowadays is like probably the best one in the 80s.
Right.
It's a different ball game.
Like we would all live there in the 80s if we could.
Yeah. We would move to Detroit. and pray
No,
for
I
better
think
times.
no, I think Detroit was probably pretty bad back then too.
Now, Detroit, not only is Detroit Island, it is also a shithole. Like,
Right.
ugh.
It's dirty.
I do respect the people from Detroit, though. They're very
Mhm.
strong-willed people, and I really hope that city pulls out one day and never
what she
procreates
said.
again. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's that would be a cool reboot because you would like that's something you can reboot because those are things you can update with the times. Certain movies you just
Right.
can't.
And you have to. I feel like if they did the reboot, they gotta have that cardboard cutout that was in the background. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was like a cardboard cutout of that guy. Everybody said it was a ghost.
Yeah.
They got to put that in the movie, right? They got to put it in there.
Yeah.
They just have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they ever did it, I don't think they're ever going to do it though. They probably would have done it by now.
A movie like Scrooged and outdo Bill Murray.
Right.
You can't do the Ghost of Christmas Past any differently because that dude was just a character in itself. You can't do Big Trouble in Little China without Kurt Russell.
Right.
Now, if they were to make a sequel to Big Trouble, I might watch it.
Well, it would have to have Kurt Russell in it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to
realize how cool that movie was when I was a kid. You got to remember, I was living in San Francisco.
Oh yeah,
and that
that's
was
true.
the setting of the movie. So as a little
That's
kid
true.
with a big imagination, you're thinking there's some evil Chinese demon underworld in the sewers. That was a pretty cool thought.
Remember that?
What?
Remember they were fighting. Their warriors were fighting.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They were using their fingers like controls.
yeah.
Controllers.
I
That was
forgot
cool.
about that. Yeah,
That movie was so good. So stupid though. You watch it now, you're like, why did I like this? And then after it's done, you're like, oh yeah, that's why I liked it.
yeah. It's a lot of that. A lot in the '80s was very cool. But you know what still holds up because I brought it up earlier was Ninja Turtle movies or the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Yep.
That thing was so well done.
It looked good. The puppeteering looked good.
And I heard they did it on less than $5 million. It was an independent production.
Yeah, it was cheap. And Corey Feldman was one of the turtles. That was cool.
Yeah,
one of the voices. One of the voices, anyways.
Donatello, my namesake.
Mikey from Goonies. No, not Mikey. Mouth from Goonies.
Yeah, and dude from Lost Boys. I forget his name. Some weird name.
The something brothers.
Yeah,
and they didn't even look like brothers. Lost Boys, man, that was another good one.
Classic. I'm
Maggots,
mad at Corey
Michael.
Feldman though.
Maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Dude, I don't know about. I'm so mad at Corey Feldman right now though. He did this whole promo on this big reveal.
Yeah, the Lost Boys, right? They were doing like a sequel kind of, right?
Oh no, not. I saw the sequels. They sucked.
Okay.
Earlier this year he put out a documentary where he was supposedly going to be revealing all these huge names in Hollywood that were pedophiles, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he was pumping it like so hard, like it was somebody that actually mattered that he had never brought up before. Now, the way he was talking, you were thinking he was going to come out and say Tom Cruise or something, you know?
Right.
He
Tom
was
Hanks.
pumping it like that.
Tom Hanks, that would be even worse.
I feel wouldn't be surprising though, but
yeah, but Tom Hanks is an angel to me, man.
Dude, I was thinking Tom Hanks because he'd been in a movie with Tom Hanks. So I was like, oh, this is going to get crazy. He does this whole thing. He goes, yeah. And this person is so powerful. I worry about my life after this. I'm like, ooh. Then I started thinking like, who the hell is this? So he puts out the documentary and you can only watch it on his website. Okay. Then
you have to pay for it on his website.
Oh yeah. Okay. You know, I didn't. I found an illegal way to stream that,
Sure.
and I'm glad I did because I would
allegedly he found an illegal way.
What's that?
I said allegedly you found an illegal way to watch it.
Yeah. So it was honestly, I don't think you could even call it what he was doing. It was just so corny. He comes out and goes, "It was Charlie Sheen," but what if anybody had followed that whole thing before? He already talked about Charlie Sheen like 80 times, and Charlie Sheen denied it. So he sold it as there was going to be some big reveal and somebody that he never brought up, and it ends up being Charlie Sheen.
Right. And I mean, not for nothing, but nobody cares if it's Charlie Sheen.
Thank you. Nobody's surprised by what Charlie Sheen does.
Exactly. Anymore. Like, okay, that's news. That's not news.
Dude could come out tomorrow and be like, so this whole time I've been Lucifer, son of the morning, Satan.
Yeah, we'd be like,
eh. Figured as much.
We both had the same reaction.
You know?
Whatever.
So, yeah, Corey Feldman. Bad move.
That's dumb.
Come on, Donatello.
You said you have HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
Did you see Wonder Woman's going to be on there December November 24th or something like that?
Honestly, bro, I'm not a big fan of comic book movies. My only comic book guy that I like is Batman, and it has to be Michael Keaton. Because that is Batman to me. I'm actually really excited because I heard he was making a comeback.
Yeah, he's going to be the old Batman in the next movie or something like that.
But I am excited to see this Robert Pattinson one.
I am too.
That trailer looked dope.
I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be real good. So
he's a good actor.
This Secret Labs chair right here. You can't really see it. So I got a gaming chair, and where is it? Right here is the Batman logo. I got the Dark Knight edition.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's on the back too. It's so dope. Batman is my number one.
I like
me and my
Christian
brother
Bale.
Always. I didn't like him. I liked him in the beginning, and then he started getting ridiculous.
But he's Bateman to me, not Batman. That is Patrick Bateman. American Psycho, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Or The Machinist. He was good in that.
Oh, that was a trippy movie.
Yeah, man. He was like 10 pounds in that.
Yeah.
But Batman is my number one.
Lose that much weight.
Yes, they could. Yeah, they could. They could pay me to lose that much weight.
I don't know, man.
And then he had after that movie.
They paid him really good.
He did Batman right after that movie, so he had to bulk right back up. That's dangerous to go from that small and bulk up like that. That's so fucking dangerous. But Batman's my number one. My brother, he loves Superman, so we always go at each other. And
Zog loves Superman too. That's his guy.
You said Zod? Oh, right over here, Zog.
Yeah.
My brother always go at it, man. I'm like, listen, man, you can't compete with Batman. Batman has the better villains, the better story. You know, it's just good. It's dark. It's gritty. It's grimy. He's not a superhero. He's just a hero, man. He's a vigilante. Does what he wants.
What's your favorite Batman movie so far?
Favorite Batman movie? You mean besides Batman? The original?
Is that your favorite?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
I love that one.
So this is weird. I love that one too, but I actually there was some real cheesiness in it. I actually love Batman Returns more because
was that the second one?
Yeah, I liked that depiction of Catwoman was just so dope.
Yo, you just like Michelle Pfeiffer. That's what it is. And
you know what? Honestly,
I'm not mad at you for that.
Honestly, now, I mean, when I was a kid, I was a little kid with an unhealthy crush. But looking back, they haven't depicted Catwoman in a good way since.
No, I think Zoe's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see. She's a good actress.
Yeah, I love her, man. I got a crush on her.
But she's gorgeous. But I liked the tone, that gothic Christmas tone of that movie was dope.
And Danny DeVito was dope as the Penguin.
Yeah, he was a little bit over the top.
But who else could you even get to play that part? He's shaped like the Penguin.
Yeah.
Already. And he's short like the Penguin. And
the soundtrack, Danny Elfman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then you get into it was such a hard thing watching it transition into the Joel Schumacher neon everything.
You know what happened? It turned into the TV show Batman. That's what happened.
But like at a rave.
Right.
You know what I mean? I thought Robin was so corny. I liked
Ugh.
I liked Tim Burton's idea for Robin. He was gonna make him a black guy. He was gonna have Marlon Wayans play him.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wrong black guy.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Marlon Wayans in a serious role, but I would like to give him that. I would give him the opportunity over Chris O'Donnell,
Yeah.
who literally just looked like they took a makeshift like machine to pump out a Robin from the original TV series.
Right. Now was that Returns? Robin was in Returns?
No, he was in the Val Kilmer joint, Batman Forever.
Which one? Which Batman had nipples? Was that George Clooney?
That was Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Why would they put nipples?
That was Joel
Batman?
Schumacher's Batman.
Okay. Ugh,
so
dumb.
The only thing I liked about Joel Schumacher's Batman was his choice in the female lead, because Nicole Kidman was just smoking hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
I liked him too.
And to be honest, Val Kilmer wasn't a terrible Batman. It's just I wasn't happy that Michael Keaton wasn't in the role anymore. And Michael Keaton actually left that role because he saw it getting too corny. They fired Tim Burton because he was too dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then still had Michael Keaton. He read the script. There's like 15 rewrites of the script. He was like, nah, I'm good.
And nobody thought Michael Keaton was going to do a good job either.
No,
he just went in there and nailed it.
So that's the argument I say when people were mad that Ben Affleck came in. I like Ben Affleck.
He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad though.
I knew he wouldn't be.
Yeah,
but
I didn't.
The great thing about Ben Affleck is he's a comic book nerd. He's got love for the character.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I like that.
Right.
They're saying the same thing about Robert Pattinson, but it's like, you guys, I mean, you got to understand, they said that about Michael Keaton, who was a comedic actor at the time, and he crushed it. He's still to this day, that is Batman to me.
Yeah, exactly. They said the same thing about Heath Ledger with the Joker, and he got an Academy Award.
To be honest, I was not even remotely interested in the Chris Nolan series until I saw him play Joker, and that was the highlight of it for me.
All right, so who's the better Joker?
Ooh, don't do that.
And I'm counting the new one too. Joaquin Phoenix.
Jared Leto?
No, Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
He fucking, oh my God. I mean, they're all different Jokers, but.
So that was a great movie. It just wasn't, I don't want to see that Joker tied into the Batman series.
Right. I agree. But that was just that was art, man.
The Jared Leto one was just, this is Jared Leto to me. I think this is my theory.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, if you guys have proof of this, please let me know. It's just Jake Gyllenhaal with his eyes crossed. So get back to me on that if there's any proof.
With his eyes close together.
Which is ironic because, Heath Ledger, Jake Gyllenhaal, Brokeback Man. I don't know. Heath Ledger. I'm gonna have to go. Oh, man. I'm gonna say Heath Ledger, and here's why. For obvious reasons, but not a lot of people notice that dude actually threw in a lot of nuances from Jack Nicholson in that character. He paid such good respect and homage to Jack Nicholson's Joker that he made the perfect Joker.
And Nicholson was good too in his own right.
Jack Nicholson is just awesome.
Yeah, he is. But I don't know. I kind of like Joaquin Phoenix, man. I think the thing is, he was the Joker, but not in. He was in Gotham, but he wasn't in the Batman universe. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was just the Joker. It was just like an origin story.
Great movie, but I feel like that Joker is just a little bit too feminine to go up against Batman. Just saying.
Well, he was always a little bit like feminine, though. Even in the comic books, he was always like holding his, and I don't want to say feminine, more like a clown. He would hold like a marionette. He was like his. So, if you look at the comics, he looks like basically a marionette puppet without the strings.
I'm gonna throw you for another loop here. It's a tie between Heath Ledger and this is obviously a different realm. Mark Hamill because Mark Hamill.
Well, he did the
Joker.
voice. He's dope.
Yeah,
but that's just the voice, though.
I don't know. I've never really been into video games, but I played the Arkham series, Batman games, and Mark Hamill crushed it.
Oh yeah, he definitely crushes it. He's dope with it. But I'm talking. Go ahead.
Definitely. It's Heath Ledger and then Jack Nicholson, and I get what you're saying about Phoenix. That was a dope movie in its own right. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I love psychological thrillers.
We got two comic book characters that won the Academy Award. That's you couldn't tell me growing up in the 80s. You couldn't tell me that would happen. I would laugh at you. First of all, I would laugh at you.
Was going to be crushing the the award show,
right? And I would laugh at you if you said that there were going to be comic book movies. You know, because people. The thing is, you were looked at as a nerd if you like comics, but now the nerds grew up and they started making movies.
Now it's trendy too to be kind of nerdy.
Right.
I like the other. So again, I wasn't a comic book fan, but the other comic book movies that I liked was the first few X-Men movies. I was blown away when I saw that first X-Men movie. That was so dope.
I didn't really like that. I thought it was corny. Did you see Logan?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you feel about Logan?
I liked it.
I love Logan, man.
I like Green
Hold up, you're breaking up.
Story.
Yeah, me too. I love Logan. Let me tell you I'm gonna tell you what they did right about Logan, and this is the same thing that Marvel does right with their movies. They take actual devices, and so Captain America is it's a spy movie with Captain America in it. You know what I mean? It's not a Captain America movie. It's a spy movie. And then you have like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a space opera with Guardians of the Galaxy in it, you know? And that's how I feel about Logan. Logan is just like kind of like a Western with Wolverine in it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what they did right. Like don't make your movie about that character. Make a genre film and just throw the characters in them.
Yeah. Speaking of Westerns, though, how are you feeling about The Mandalorian right now?
I love it, man. I love it.
So, quick question. Did you ever get into like the Clone Wars or anything like that?
I watched the cartoons.
Like, the original hand-drawn?
The ones that were from a few years back.
Yeah.
They're on TV?
So, originally there was... Before the series came out, there was a bunch of shorts that were like actual hand-drawn animation, and then they went into like the computer animation, right?
Okay.
So the other day, I got real mad at that second episode of this season because it was just a filler episode.
Yeah, it was.
Nothing happens. You could literally not watch that episode and be all caught up, right?
Right.
I was iffy about the last season. Just because I feel like they're compromising a lot to appease Disney, but bringing Boba Fett back, which I don't think they're gonna do. I think we saw the last of him, and that kind of pisses me off. But I was just about to be done with it because of that second episode, and then this most recent one. Oh, it's on tonight, by the way, at midnight. Here.
It'll be on for me before you.
Time.
Woohoo!
So no, you get it 3 o'clock. You get it 3 a.m. on the East Coast. We get it at midnight.
Oh, that's right.
So we'll be watching that at the same time.
No, I won't be watching at 3 in the morning.
When oh damn it, why am I not thinking of her name? Bo-Katan. She came in like midway through the episode, the Mandalorian chick that was Satine's sister, the girl Obi-Wan was in love with. Bro, I literally okay, I'm back. You got me again.
You're in. It was like a boomerang.
Yeah. It was literally like, you son of a bitch. Like, you pulled me back in. I got it.
I was
And
Just
then,
when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
exactly, a little Al Pacino for him, another classic. And then she said Ahsoka, who is by far one of my favorite characters of all time.
I almost named my daughter Ahsoka.
What's that?
I almost named my daughter Ahsoka.
You got, bro.
I almost did. I almost did.
Tell me,
close.
Bro, like, I'm not even kidding. You could ask my girl. That's what, if we have a girl, we're naming her Ahsoka.
I was this close, man. Because all my kids, their first name start with an A.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, but for some reason my wife was down. I was like, for real? So yeah. So it changed at the last minute because Game of Thrones. So her name is Arya.
Nice. That's a good name, though.
Yeah.
We have a girl. It's going to be Ahsoka Leia.
Oh, that's dope.
So
that's dope. Why is it that Disney doesn't put Princess Leia with the Disney princesses? I don't appreciate that. That would be a good way to get little girls into Star Wars.
Because here's why, bro. Because fuck Disney. That's why. They're honestly, bro. If
it's true though, right? Because she is a Disney princess now.
She's not even just a Disney princess, man. If you really look at the history of film, she's the first in your face. I'm taking control of the situation without even pushing a feminist agenda. Nowadays it's all about, it's not about equality anymore. It's literally about who could be madder at who. She was feminist. She was like huge for a feminist movement when they weren't even talking about it, because women didn't command the kind of respect she did in any other movie. Leia to me is, oh man, she's the pinnacle of what female characters. So if you look at like the Disney movies, they forced, you could say you liked episode 7, whatever, but you cannot tell me that they didn't force Daisy Ridley down our throats. Why did this bitch go through no training and she's just the most badass character? It doesn't matter who you're telling the story about. The story has to be about the hero's journey. They have to fail. They have to feel backed into a corner. They got to feel like they're going to lose. You got to feel like they're going to lose as an audience member, right? Didn't happen with her. The new Star Wars, the Disney movies, I did not give a shit about one of those new characters. They didn't make me.
Well, the
one that I was semi excited for, John Boyega, they didn't even give him no screen time.
Right. The only character I liked in those movies because he was funny was Poe. Yeah. That was it. And that's because he was funny. He kind of like opened up all of the movies, didn't he? Wasn't it on him?
Yeah, he was like he was their version of like a
Han,
a knockoff. Yeah, a Han Solo.
Yeah,
they could.
So that was really the only character I liked.
Did you read up about what the George Lucas sequels would have been like? It literally just got released like a week ago.
Nah.
Man,
would have been dope.
I'm a George Lucas loyalist and huge fan. I love the prequels. A lot of people don't like the prequels. I love them. I
just didn't like I didn't like who they had playing Anakin. I don't like that dude.
Look, I could tell you some things about the prequels that'll make you watch it differently and appreciate it a lot more. I definitely could. So
I like the pod racing.
Yeah, it was dope.
That was dope.
But here's the thing about, I understand everybody hates who they got to play Anakin Skywalker, but really, could anybody else have done better? I mean, you got to remember too, the bar was set pretty high. Leo DiCaprio was the first contender for the role. That's who George Lucas wanted. So, and I'm glad they didn't use him because his face is just so familiar now that I can't associate it. Right. But Anakin. So the reason why people like kind of felt Anakin was corny is because he was. You got to remember, dude, this guy was raised by Jedi, but he's also in love with a chick, so he's gonna have no game. He wasn't raised to have game. He was literally raised to deal with conflict, right? So those scenes are meant for him to seem whiny and corny. like, think about this. Think of you as a 10-year-old being torn away from your parents and all of a sudden forced to live this monk life, right?
Right.
You'd be pretty
You're gonna be
pretty pissed
socially
off.
awkward.
Yeah, exactly. But the scene in that I think just seals like what everybody should watch closer is episode 3 when Anakin starts to burn. He's on fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
He nails that. The dude looks like he's in pain. It draws so much emotion because not a lot of people think at the depth of what's actually going on. Remember, Jedi, they're not allowed to love and they're not allowed to hate.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about being compassionate. So saying I hate you to somebody is the worst thing a Jedi could say. Anakin saying that to Obi-Wan, who he recently said was like a father to him, that was a huge statement. And that was a very sad thing to watch. What was even sadder is that Obi-Wan was a by-the-book Jedi. By the book. Right. He believed in the rules, not getting attached to anything. He comes back to Anakin. Yeah, you were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. And he's like crying as he says it. That scene, like if people would just look at that scene for what it actually is, as opposed to corny dialogue as they think it is, you got a guy literally you're watching him die because Anakin's dead. You know what I mean? Like, and he kills himself by saying that, saying, I hate you. And then Obi-Wan coming back with what he said. So deep.
I still don't like him. That didn't help. I still don't like him. I like the Clone Wars Anakin better than him.
Oh, Clone Wars. Oh man, Clone Wars.
Clone Wars is dope, man.
Yeah.
And people don't watch it. And I watched it like all the way through when it was on because it was on Netflix for a long time. The whole thing, and that's when I watched. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit down and watch all of this because it's supposed to be canon. So I was like, I gotta watch it. I gotta check it out. Yeah. So I went through the whole thing probably like in like a week and a half, man. I was just blowing through them. It was awesome. I loved that. That's why my daughter was almost named Ahsoka. Because she was badass in that.
Still is.
How do you feel about Rosario Dawson? I watched the first season. I didn't go past that yet. I think I started the second season. I know Ahsoka comes back older.
Yeah.
Was that in the first season or second season?
I think she comes back either at the end of the first season or
that was the end of the first season because she opened up a hatch or something, and you see that it's her. So I think I watched the second season as well. I haven't watched past that.
It gets pretty good
because I saw when they thought that she died because she blew up. I think, and then whatever the end of that season, that's where I left off. And I think I watched the first couple of episodes in the next season. That's how I know she didn't die.
She gets a lot of screen time in that, and if you look at you finally get to see her and Anakin face off with him as Darth Vader, which is a powerful scene. And she's even more badass in that. And then going
because that was his Padawan, right?
Oh yeah. They were stupid close. So like she knew things about him that, she knew about the whole Padme relationship.
Right.
So I didn't like it at first, the Rebels series. And then I got into watching it. I understand that first season is going to have a lot of filler and, I thought it was Disney just failing me again, but I'm going to tell you this, the guy that's in charge of Clone Wars and Rebels and some of the Mandalorian episodes, Dave Filoni, that should be the guy that's running Lucasfilm right now, not Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah. Well, Favreau's doing a good job.
Yeah, but Favreau's doing good. But here's the thing: Dave Filoni was George Lucas's right-hand man for like a good 7 to 10 years before George Lucas sold Lucasfilm.
Got it.
He knows everything there is to know about the universe. You can really tell when somebody who doesn't know what they're doing is getting their hands on Star Wars because, look what happened with the sequels.
But so far, all the directors that they picked are nailing it.
For Mando?
Yeah, yeah. Even the filler episodes, they're not horrible. You just know that they're filler episodes.
Well, yeah. So me and Zog were talking about this the other day. I wouldn't have such a problem with that second episode if the season wasn't only 8 episodes long. If we were talking 12 to 15 episodes,
Right. Yeah.
throw
Yeah.
me
Yeah,
some
yeah.
filler. But you got 8 episodes to tell a story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
And I have a feeling we're gonna wait until the last episode to even see Ahsoka's face, and she'll probably appear like she did at the end of Rebels, and that kind of
Right.
pisses me off.
Supposedly that chick in the first season, they're doing like a spinoff.
Of-
I don't know what her name was. That chick from Haywire, the fighting chick.
Gina Carano.
Yeah, I think that's her.
Yeah,
They're supposed to be doing a spinoff with her.
I doubt that's gonna happen, and here's why. She's not very liberal, and they're calling for her to get canceled. So, and you know how
Really?
Disney feels about canceling people; they do it all the time.
Damn.
So, not to get back into political, but yeah, I liked her character. She's dope.
Yeah. And
But
she's
you
actually
know
a
what? We
fighter
better
too.
see some damn Boba Fett. That's all I know.
It'll happen.
But yo, man, I got to get up off of here.
Yeah,
I got
man.
People knocking on the door. I don't know if you've heard that, but
No, I didn't hear it. That's cool, man.
thanks
Appreciate
for
you
having
rocking with me.
on.
Yeah, man. We'll do this again. We'll do it shorter next time.
Yeah, I won't be so long-winded next
we
time.
we were both rambling, man. It's cool.
It's
cool,
good
man.
though. It's fun.
Yeah, check out that app that I sent you. It's dope.
Yeah, got you.
It's definitely dope. All right, man. Well, everybody, you have a good night, and we'll see you next time.